fucking machine.
How's it going?
Literally about 3 more minutes.
You gotta turn it on.
5 minutes.
Go take a dip, dude. I'm excited to see people bite into my creations.
So welcome back to It Is Now. So y'all know every week Cam and Mace have been calling the underdog to discount a player's projection. So you know Cam makes the call and underdog makes the play. Cam, who are we discounting this week?
This week we're going to go with Tyrese Halliburton. Right now he's at 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But I like that number a little better if it's 27.5. Let me call UD right now and see what's going on the back line. UD, what's good, baby? Yeah. It's that time of the week again. Look, y'all got Tyrese Halliburton at 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think I want him at 27.5. Yeah. 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists under Cam. All right. Copy that. Done deal, y'all. So we got Tyrese Halliburton at 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Don't say I didn't do y'all the favor.
Okay, and just like that, I'm checking out. It is live. So this is available now until tip-off on Friday for new and existing customers who have signed up with any of the promo codes. So code CAM, code MACE, code STAT, code It Is What It Is. So make sure y'all take advantage of the It Is Now promo.
God damn, what the fuck?
Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing all alone. Seven and these won't fall. This thing called trials. But she really thinking about
Welcome back. So the Nuggets, they were down pretty bad after losing to OKC, 149 to 106, a 43-point difference. The series is tied, but Mace, what did you think of OKC's performance?
Man, OKC came back like Denver had their bike, you know? Like you telling me it ain't my bike. Them niggas came back and went crazy on Denver. It just seemed like from the first quarter, it was just a blowout pause from the first quarter. Once they got up like 23, I know that Denver came back from 20 points before. It just seemed like the game was over from the first quarter. And it just kept building. As the time go on, you go get something to eat, look back at the game, they down 30. Then they're back down to 29. Then it's up to 40. Once it got up to 40, I said, I know they're not going to beat them by 50. Then you look at halftime, and they're up, and it's 80 points at halftime. So you're watching a team that's balling uncontrollably. Everybody is hitting their shots. It's like they sat down before the game, and they say, you know what? We are not losing this game. We're not leaving it up to the refs. And that's what it looked like when you're not leaving it up to the refs. We're going to go out there and take this game. It's not going to matter what the refs is calling, what they're not calling. It's like they got every rebound. They got every loose ball. And pause, they was actually hitting a lot of threes from everywhere. And just seemed like they was playing at a different speed than OKC. Denver. The only person seemed like they was playing at the same speed as OKC was Russell Westbrook. He was flying down the lane. But once they start getting texts and stuff like that, it got really out of control. But I look forward to them bounce back to Game 3.
Yeah, to me, it ain't really too much to say. The game that happened last night was a game, to me personally, that I thought was going to happen the first game. OKC come out here and smack Denver because, like I said, Denver was in a 7-game grueling series with the Clippers. And I said to myself, game 1, they're going to come out, get blown out. They on 48 hours notice, not even 48 hours, less than 48 hours. And they came back from a 20-point deficit to actually win a game again. Aaron Gordon to the rescue. I'm not going to take too much of this game. You know, we've seen OKC set a record for the most points in the first half of any playoff series ever, 87 points in one half. After that, it was a foregone conclusion. Even though the starters, Jamal Murray, Joker, they played the third quarter to try and mount a comeback. foregone conclusion at halftime. Isn't really much to take from this game, me personally. What I will say is this: Denver came in and did what they had to do and snatched home court advantage back for them, winning that first game. And this is the first game in the second round, actually, that a home team has actually won a home game. But Denver did what they had to do the first game. We'll see what happens next game.
Okay. So now I want to get into this anonymous NBA players poll because we started discussing it a couple episodes ago when we were talking about Halliburton being overrated and things like that. So basically this poll, they spoke with 158 players, over 1/3 of the league, with players from all 30 teams represented. So I'm kind of going to read the question, give you guys the answer, and see if that aligns with what you guys think it would be. So the first question is, which team other than your own do you think will win the title this season? The most popular answer was the Celtics, but given that they're 0-2 in the series right now versus the Knicks, would that still be your answer, or do you think that it's another team?
That's a fact. I know.
No, I think there's several other teams because right now the two teams I'm rooting for is Golden State and Denver, right? So other than those two teams,
how can it be OKC and 4
see Indiana winning it. Other than our teams.
Boston Celtics in 6.
Indiana.
You think Patriots will win it all?
No cap.
Okay, and Kip.
Boston Celtics in 6.
If it's not Boston, my personal opinion is going to be a West Coast team. Right now, I would say OKC. But I definitely still want to see how Golden State
Boston
looks.
Celtics in
I like
6.
Golden State a lot. You got to see look at Steph Curry's health, see if he's healthy. Excuse me, see if Steph Curry's healthy. But outside of Boston, and right now Boston doesn't look good. It looked like a West Coast team, but the grit of the Knicks look really scrappy. Don't care what's going on. I like the Knicks. But we got to also keep in mind that Indiana is the one who sent the Knicks home last year. And Indiana is up 2-0. See, Indiana just isn't sexy. Halliburton doesn't go for 45 or 50. He does just enough. I don't want to say just enough. He's a great point guard that has a balanced attack with his team. And so when he gets 17 points or 25 points, it matters within the team. He doesn't have to go for 45 or 50. We watched Donovan Mitchell get 47 last game, 48 points, and still lose. Even though his other two All-Stars wasn't there, that doesn't matter. It's the playoffs, toughen up and get out there. So I would, look, Indiana's scrappy. Knicks are scrappy, but if we're talking about winning it all right now, if I had to pick one team, according to what's going on right now today at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, today, I'm going with OKC.
Okay. And then the next question is 5 years from now, and we're always talking about face of the league. Mace, who do you think would be the face of the league? The popular answer is Wemby.
Yellow and Black is back with great flooring deals at Lumber Liquidators. Aquaseal bamboo flooring with pads, 50% off at $199 a square foot.
Appreciate you, man. This is the best juice maker ever.
I've been waiting for this game forever. What are you even saying, Eric? Would you please?
Yeah, that's what I would have said. 5 years from now, because you think about how different he looks on the wing right now. I can only imagine like a couple of years under his belt, developing a three, being able to get some other players around him. He's gonna be a real problem. He's not even in the weight room. He haven't gained like 10, 20 pounds of muscle, and he come back and play being 7'4" at the three. It's gonna be a real problem. Because we were able to see what Kevin Durant was able to do once he started growing a little pause from 6'10" to 6'11" and almost 7 foot or however tall he became. And we saw how great of a player he was able to become, hopefully without injuries, that Wemby could do the same. I think he's the face of the league as we move forward.
I don't know the answer to this. I'm not going to say Wemby because I know De'Aaron Fox is there now. They're going to be in the lottery to end up getting somebody maybe good. But the reason I don't say Wemby, and he could be the face of the league, I'm not saying he is or isn't, but we always do 5 years of anything. When you figure yourself in 5 years in life, what are you going to be in 5 years? Everything changes. There's no guarantee. I remember the internet came out, changed up everything. Niggas was going to Blockbuster. Now you was stupid whack going that with a VHS tape. What are you doing? Motherfucking niggas don't know what a VHS. Nigga came and signed a VHS tape. My man in the booth the other day. Stat didn't know what the fuck it was. Stat didn't know what a VHS tape was. She didn't even know. I said, if you seen a VCR, would you be able to work it? She's like, I think I can figure it out. But things change 5 years. Every 5 years, shit change. I told Stat about a beeper. Stat couldn't even know what a beeper was. I said, Stat, I gotta find that video. Stat, what's a beeper? She said, when you pick up your phone and it goes beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, back so what is a beeper?
I said, yo, nah, man. A beeper is something where somebody just beeps you and your hip vibrates.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Look at the number, they gotta go find the phone to call somebody. It's a whole to do.
I never knew that. I thought you were like sending like voice messages. My mom was looking at me crazy because she's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Yo, I never had that. Like, I ain't never seen that." And I knew what a VHS tape was. I just never seen it. So when you seen it, I was like, "Oh, it's one of those things, y'all."
So how did you know what it was if you never seen it?
Probably movies. Like I never seen, or like my grandma had some of them sitting around, but it's like I didn't know what it was when he was signing it.
Yeah, I got to pay the full VHS and I was signing. I said, "You know what this is?" I said it, so that's why I blew the spot of it. She didn't know. She said, "You just said it, so you know what it is." But in 5 years, the reason I don't say Wemby outright is because, look, to me, Wemby's an outstanding talent for his person 7'4", shoot the three, could dribble, defensive prowess, etc. But to me, he can't take a team to the next level dolo. And I know he could do it dolo, but we seen LeBron James basically do it dolo when he first moved to Cleveland. I mean, if you want to count Eric Snow and probably not Snow, Boo Boo, or whatever the nigga point guard name is, and all these other people. The point guard that used to, I ain't even talking about Shepard, the nigga that was boning Keisha Cole, Boo, the nigga, Boobie Gibson and all them niggas, Boo Boo Gibson, whatever. No disrespect if I got your name wrong. I'm just saying he wasn't like that. LeBron basically took niggas by themselves. When I see Allen Iverson, the reason I brought Eric Snow, because I see Allen Iverson or Eric Snow and McKee and so Allen Iverson did that. You know what I'm saying? I seen niggas one-man bandit, not one at all. I'm not gonna say one at all, but they definitely took team to the conference finals, if not the championship. Wemby didn't even get close to that. And I know you playing in a packed Western Conference, and the two people that I named was playing in the East, but it wasn't like the East was super sweet, especially when Allen Iverson was playing. So I seen people take teams to the championship dolo, and I seen Wemby not even get close to that. I know he didn't finish out the season this season, and we hope he gets better soon, but they wasn't going to do nothing this season either. And it isn't like he's making them contenders dolo. Now, if you get some people over there and help them out, like so far, help is on the way, Aaron. Like I said, De'Aaron Fox is there. We'll see what happens in the off season if they can get some other people. But you ain't. I see LeBron do it. I see motherfucking Allen Iverson do it. You're not doing what I see them doing at much tougher times.
Next question is, who is the league's most overrated player? I know that we discussed Halliburton to Mace. First, I want your thoughts on that, and then I want your guess of who you think the second person is.
You said Halliburton?
Yeah, he was voted most overrated by the other players, and then I want your guess of who you think the second most overrated person is.
I don't think Halliburton is overrated.
This was a players.
Yeah.
That sound like they don't like light-skinned niggas.
Yeah, they hating on Halliburton. Halliburton must be famous, pause, in the tunnel with the ladies. Niggas that hate on you like that.
You would know about that.
Yeah, niggas say, yo, that nigga ain't like that. So how did I come up? Yeah, who's the second most overrated person? This is gonna sound crazy, but I think Tyler Hero. I think he's another person people be like overrated.
I think that's crazy. He's on the voting. He's just not second.
Oh, yeah. Tyler Hero would be second. Because I thought when he came out of Kentucky, he was going to be, like, really special. There's something about Miami. You just got to be focused. He could turn it around, but shooting back at Stat.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Nah, yeah, Tyler Hero. Definitely. Okay. I was expecting more.
Okay, and Cam?
You're asking who's on the list of second or my opinion?
Who do you think is guessed to second?
Oh, I ain't know about that list. I'll tell you my opinion. That sound like niggas hating. Tyrese Halliburton, you know where this hate come from? For him getting to the Olympics. You know, that's when niggas be like, yo, how the fuck he make the Olympics? Jalen Brown supposed to be at the Olympics. Oh, this nigga supposed to be at the Olympics. That's all this is really about. Tyrese Halliburton's a solid point guard. He's been to Eastern Conference Finals already. Olympic champion. He has plenty of time. He's super duper young. I think this is some personal shit because he light skinned and he doesn't always have 50 or 40 points. So I'm not going by that list. But I would love to hear who's first, second, third. I get it that we're about to get to that. But my number one overrated player, and when I say overrated, I don't think that he's not good when healthy. I just think that he be ducking smoke and he hasn't got to the mountaintop is Joel Embiid. Your Joel Embiid, the process started in 1827 with you. It's 200 years old, the process, man. What is the process? What is this process that you speak of, bro? What is this? Now, you're hurt. I get you was hurt this season. We seen you physically hurt last season in the playoffs trying to do the best you could do. But when you keep ducking the Joker season after season after season and not going to Denver and not motherfucker wanting to play that man in the Mile High City, to me, you're the most overrated player. Not only that, you're super duper talented. You get all these pieces every year around you, and you still can't get niggas over the mountaintop. I know Kawhi hurt your heart one year with the buzzer beater. We get all that. But you had other years after that and before that to get there. So if you're talking about my number one overrated player, it's Joel Embiid. And not that he's not good. He's just so good that he should be having a team at least to the championship, if not have won a championship already. So that's my number one overrated player, especially when you keep ducking the Joker, when you have.
Great take. And then, so voted as second is Rudy Gobert and third is Trae Young. What are you guys' thoughts?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that Trae Young.
Trae Young?
I think niggas is capping with that. Because he gets so high points,
Trae
but I
Young's
guess
like
it's based on what team you on. If you're on a team that's like you go crazy, then you're going to go crazy. Especially if you got the talent to do so. But if he was on another team, would he be scoring 30? Probably not.
Yeah, my opinion as far as Rudy Gobert, Trae Young, this is why I don't like this list. What's this list based on the criteria? Because you sit there and say the first person is Tyrese Halliburton. Then you say Rudy Gobert. They say Trae Young. Rudy Gobert is a great defensive player. Actually won Defensive Player of the Year a couple times. But is he a superstar? No. Trae Young is supposed to be a superstar. Tyrese Halliburton, he's a superstar? No, but he's an all-star. So now we're talking about an all-star that you're saying is overrated to somebody who's a defensive player, number 2, to supposed to be superstar, number 3. I think you have to make this list in the criteria of players, because if that's the case, we can look at the 12th man on each team and say that all them niggas is overrated. What are they taking the spot for? You know what I'm saying? You can sit there and go, well, Barney James is LeBron's son, da-da-da-da-da. It depends on what criteria is overrated mean for each player. So I don't like the list. I need to know the criteria of what kind of player you're talking about. A role player, a superstar, a defensive prowess, an all-star. What's this based upon? And I know you're saying based upon all NBA players, but it's 10, 11, 12 men on every team. You can you can name all of those niggas who don't get no burn because they coach don't feel they should get burned. It's overrated. So I don't like the list because I don't know the criteria.
Yeah, we was watching the game. We was watching the game the other day, and I told Beezer, I was
appreciate you. I'm good, man. I'm blessed. I'm cool and making juice.
Anybody we know, and it was a guy
Hail in the hood, man.
But he was 6'8". So I was thinking about that. Like
how you doing
a lot
today?
of the players are not really that skilled. They just have height. Like if you was 6'6", Killer, what kind of player you think you would have been?
Kobe, man.
Kobe up there. Like, I look at the game like, man, niggas had pause. 4 more inches, pause, the height.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You'll be in the league.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Okay, so last question before we wrap. We got to talk about football. This is breaking news. So the Steelers traded George Pickens to the Cowboys in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick and a 2027 fifth-rounder to Pittsburgh, while the Steelers will also include a 2027 sixth-round pick. Mace, does this deal make sense for the Steelers or the Cowboys?
The Cowboys, it doesn't make sense for the Steelers. They could have kept them. What is going on? Are you now still trusting Mike Tomlin is the question. That's what I should be asking you, because this is a dumb move. This is...
My favorite fruits to make beverages is the pineapples, raspberries, strawberries,
They were found
watermelon.
in this
Facts.
airless, completely pitch black tunnel with no plumbing. They were all emaciated. It was this horrifying scene.
Wow, what's your favorite fruits?
All of them were so thin.
What you
all
like
of
to
them
eat?
were shot multiple
Talk
times
to me, what's the word?
at close range. Those beautiful six, kept each other alive for months and months and months in conditions that are just unimaginable.
The future of trading is here on Robinhood.
This is. Do you think this is a smart move, Stat?
I think all the moves we made have been dumb. But I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm gonna stick by him. I'm gonna stick beside him. That's all I can do.
What happened? You
I'll say my ticket
apples and
again.
oranges? Why don't you eat pineapples no more?
Why would you do this to him? It's not like you had another wide receiver that was better than him. Why? This just makes no sense. You don't have a quarterback, and now you don't have a wide receiver.
I'm gonna DK.
At least they know something. They must have something figured out.
That's what I think we're all thinking in the back of our brains. Like, yeah, they have something figured out, but we have yet to see the something that's figured out. So.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Cam.
You gotta stop blaming Mike Tomlin for shit. Mike Tomlin is not the GM. It's trading and making moves. Mike Tomlin's just coaching. Like, we gotta stop everything Steeler related saying, yo, I can't fuck with Mike Tomlin. What is Mike Tomlin? Mike Tomlin is there to coach the team. The nigga in the trade just now. That was the GM, Omar Khan.
But I'd rather the sugar from the pineapple than sugar from a pack.
Black man on the front. Put him up. Let him, if it go crazy, he the one. He's the one. Yo,
natural sugars only, man.
Yeah, the niggas love the sneakers. Put Virgil on the cover.
This is organic
Let him
pineapple.
do the face up. Yo, they like Michael Jordan. Put him to face him like. Let him do it. Meanwhile, some niggas in the back eating. But they use your face and as the black card to make it seem like if anything go wrong, it was this nigga. Mike Tomlin ain't do nothing, too? Just wait and see what he got to work with when it's time to work with him. Secondly, you ask me what I think about this. Why the fuck would I pay attention to the Steelers or the Cowboys in the off season? I don't pay attention to niggas like that in the regular season. You think I give a fuck what's going on with the Steelers or the Cowboys in May? What the fuck are we talking about? The Steelers and the Cowboys in May? What did either one of these franchises do in this century to make me want to pay them any mind in May?
Stat in this century. Did you hear that?
Damn.
Yeah, well, listen. Let me rephrase that.
In this century. In this century.
Literally. No worries.
Let me rephrase that. At least the Steelers got 2 Super Bowls in this century. Since the century turned. The Cowboys haven't even been to a fucking conference final, NFC championship this century. So that's what Cowboys this century. Steelers got 2 championships in the last 25 years. The last one was for the last 13 years. Why the fuck would I waste my time paying it? I look at the shit, Steelers, Cowboys. I'm screwed.
Flavor Water's valid.
It's come on my TV. I'm turning.
I was doing YouTube already because I do web design too. So I was really doing it for that at first. So I was talking about all the stuff going on in technology. And then juicing just happened out of nowhere. And it turned into something. So I was like, I might as well just make my videos and stuff about this. So yeah, that's really it. That's the short version at least. The full version is actually on YouTube, you feel me? I got started juicing the whole 9.
He ain't motherfucking Justin, my nigga in Minnesota. He ain't Justin Jefferson. He ain't Chase. He ain't Lamb and Down. What are we talking about? Pickens. That's the only nigga the Steelers got. So be like, ooh, Pickens, he ain't like that. He ain't like. That's why they got rid of him. He's not like that. He's not. He's good in Pittsburgh because y'all have nobody else to brag about. So you make it seem, and then not only that, y'all have a really great quarterback situation the last few years. So you got Russell Wilson, and then young nigga, my nigga just went to the Jets.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Nigga, what are we talking about these niggas for in May? It's May, and we talking about a C-level receiver. Period. Like, yo, a C-level receiver. He ain't one of them top 3 receivers, nigga. He ain't what are we talking about? That's that.
Like fans now.
That's that.
That was a lot to process. No, because that's the problem. Because for him to be one of our best tools, like obviously we got TJ Watt, Fry up, we got a lot of good tools. For you to get rid of one of our best tools and give them to the Cowboys and pair him up with one of the best receivers in CeeDee Lamb, it doesn't make sense. That's quite literally the issue that we're mad about, because we don't now, like what, our wide receiver run, yes, we have DK. We don't know how he's going to fit on our offense. We didn't draft a wide receiver. We don't have a quarterback. And this is one of, like a respected organization. Obviously, it's my favorite team. But aside from that, the Steelers' way is to win. So it's like when you have all these trades that aren't making sense, we get rid of Pickens, which in my opinion, I'm thinking he had to have not wanted to be there, because it doesn't make sense to get rid of him, especially because we don't have anything much. Yes, there's DK, but in replacement for him, yes, we have Calvin Austin. We don't know how that's going to work. And so looking at this right now in May, yeah, it's a problem, because it's like, oh, Steelers are going to get Aaron Rodgers, Steelers are going to do this. We still don't have any of that. So at this point in time, I'm pissed, I'm frustrated, and as much as y'all don't want to talk about it, we're going to talk about it if moves keep happening, because we don't have a solution, and we need a solution ASAP. That's all I'm saying.
They knew what direction they needed to go and pause. They knew to keep Pickens. I mean, from the objective view, it's saying we know what we're going to get from him. Yes, you don't know what you're going to get from the new people, but we know what we're going to get from him. And in order to move in the future, we got to move towards it. And that's kind of the decision they made.
They ain't moving towards nothing. That's what I've seen. And now everybody's talking about the Cowboys are contenders. The Cowboys are going to do. No, I don't want to hear that either. I'm just annoyed all around. Dumb decisions that keep happening. And this is why today I'm wearing a Knicks jersey, because nobody's making sense, so I'm not going to make sense either. That's what I'm going to say. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, for instance, right? Let me just give you an example, right? Let's go Madden rankings. Justin Jefferson, 99.
Of course.
Tyreek Hill, 96. Chase, 93. Pickens is like 81.
You can expect me talking about all the stuff I'm learning with juicing, my journey, everything. How it's good for us versus store-bought juices, all of that stuff. I got a couple videos on there now. You can take a look. I appreciate you for subscribing. I'm from Boston, so I appreciate you for real.
All right, let me just name everybody ahead of him for you, Murder. Justin Jefferson, number 1, 99. Jamar Chase, number 2, 97. Amar Ross St. Brown, 96. Tyreek Hill, 96. CeeDee Lamb, 95. Mike Evans, 94. Terry McLaurin, 94. AJ Brown, 93. Devontae Adams, 91. Cooper Kupp, 90. Stephon Diggs, 90. Brandon Ayuk, 89. Drake London, 89. DK Metcalf, 88. Nico Collins, 88. Puka Nacua, 88. Chris Allen, 87. Chris Godwin, Chris Godwin, 87. Devontae Smith, 87. DJ Moore, 86. Garrett Wilson, 86. Jackson Smith, 86. T. Higgins. There was 7 receivers I never heard of on there. I'm exaggerating, but what are we talking about? What are we nigga number 870 going on the single list. What are we talking about, bro?
Yes, I just said.
I'm not going to do that to him. And also, that was the whole reason why he had the statement always fucking open, because he wasn't getting thrown the ball. Like, there was just a lot going on in the organization. That's clearly internal that we don't know about. I think he is going to shine on the Cowboys, and that's why I'm pissed, because it's like, that's kind of literally what happened with Miami. Obviously, Jimmy Butler was already great, but then you traded him to the Warriors, and now he's having a ball. Like, that shit sucks. Nobody wants to see that. Your key piece of
let me tell you something. It ain't no receiver. It ain't no receiver. It ain't, yeah, there you go. It ain't no receiver since I would start watching football in the 80s who ain't say they not open. Motherfucker Antonio Brown said he's 7'11". Sat right there in that chair, said I'm always open.
No,
I'm
that's 7'11".
Who?
Always fucking open. That was the statement that he made, and then he got fired from the NFL.
What I'm saying is every receiver thinks they're always open. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There is no receiver that doesn't think that they're not open. All these receivers over the years, if you see the really good receivers be bugging out because they get mad because they're always open. Terrell Owens, yo, nigga Tony Romo, I'm always open. That's why I was bringing up Antonio Brown, because he sat here on our show and said he's always open. It's not a receiver that doesn't think they're always open. Now, will he shine on Dallas? Perhaps, because you know why? He's not the main option. Now, if he's a pair of mashed potatoes or asparagus, that's fine. You're not the steak. You're not the lobster, nigga. You're not the filet mignon, yo. You potatoes and you asparagus. So when you go to Dallas, it may work out because we know who the number one option is. Lamb is the number one option. So therefore, if he gets doubled, you should be able to catch it because you're the potatoes and asparagus. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is the steak. Filet mignon, you know what I'm saying? It's the truth. So then what? It should work out just because you ain't the number one nigga.
What you mean?
Cowboys fans, you're welcome. But that is all the time that we have for today.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
Y'all for watching. And as always,
I never do too much. I just pull up for what I'm there for on YouTube, and then that's it. You vibe out. But I don't know what you mean by, am I a real one? I believe I am. Let me watch this.
Row sparks are built differently than Viagra. Sparks are designed to dissolve under the tongue to hit your bloodstream faster than traditional.
Caleb Battle, I went to Gonzaga University. I went to the University of Florida. Nolan Hickman, I went to Gonzaga University.
I'm a 5'9.5" guard, 48-year-old rookie. About to change the game, baby.
Come on, run. My arm's too short, man.
Oh, shit.
What you got to eat?
Okay.
You got the baby hat, you know what I mean? You see me, I come through. Yeah. Right.
Ready, ready.
You ready for what? You ready for what? Okay. How you doing? You know what's movie? It's no meat for breakfast, man.
Dr. Pat, we need to get these guys ready, Dr. Pat.
How you feeling, man? You good, man? How you feeling, man? Yeah, barbecue to death. Yeah, yeah, I heard y'all ask for Damian Gillard. Yeah, barbecue. Now ain't nobody got nothing to say. I'm here. Yeah, the youngest on the phone talking crazy. Now Chelsea Gillips walk in, ain't nobody got nothing to say. Yeah, now everybody calves tender. We ain't even do that back in the day. We ain't do none of that. We did this, man, look. All right, I'm ready, coach. Put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Yeah,
they look like
I appreciate that,
there,
yeah.
man. You don't know enough.
I talk real.
Been around.
Don't sugarcoat, you know.
Foul him out in the first 3 minutes. What position you play? Win. You ain't in better shape. I'm tell you, man. Oh, okay. As soon as we walk in, huh? Yeah, Brian type of shit. Y'all little niggas get to the back, man. All right, come on, man.
Getting right. Getting right.
See, that's too much, man. Yeah, that's too much, man. That's some young boy shit, man. You know, that's why they don't be knowing the fundamentals. They be on their phone and shit, getting with the lady massaging his calf for no reason, man. There ain't nothing wrong with his calf, man. It's the process, how you go through for you. Jordan ain't do this shit, man. Jordan said, drop me off at the bar, man, drank some brewskis and then gave niggas 45, man. Oh, shit, that shit tight, man. That shit. That shit tight. some WD-40. He ain't never seen this shit like this. He like, this nigga hips don't work. He never seen no shit like this. He like, this nigga hips don't work. Got tight and shit. You do the massages though. Well, you told me the Asian boy would do your feet, man. Massage your feet.
Fruit haven't I used?
Oh shit, bro. What you trying to go in with this shit, bro?
I don't know. I relatively use everything. Dragon fruit, passion fruit, pineapple, raspberries, grapes, red and green, watermelon, peach, strawberry, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, purple cabbage, green apples, Granny Smith apples, Gala apples. So I don't know. Kiwi. I'm using kiwi now. Yeah. I think that's really it for now. I don't really know. It's a good question though. Fucking noses itching like shit.
So normally where would a person's foot be? Out here?
Yeah, definitely a little more.
Damn. I feel like he just pulled. Maybe 5'11", man. Just pulled my ankle out of place. 5'11". 5'2" to 5'4". That's cool. You see that though? I got a 6'4" wingspan. That's what they don't know. Look at that. Go, let me ask you a question. Who you know is my size to pound of basketball, man? No, you don't, man. A lot of you play ball. Hands bigger than Michael Jordan's, man. Think about that, man. I'm right here, man. Ain't no table for me. See, God, come on, I'm on point.
Yeah, I use mangoes. I don't juice bananas because it fucks up the flow. So I put it in the what it is.
I've been ready.
Put the banana in one of these, put some coconut water in it, spin it, let it go crazy. Yeah, I spin it, let it go crazy, and that's that, for real. So yeah, I use mango. I just use mango, but I didn't cut it. I used the frozen mango.
I don't even know if anything is.
Cutting that, I hate cutting mangoes. I ain't gonna lie.
He never played on his level, man. First of all, I don't know why
he
type of treatment. You should be doing him. He was a prison of sleeps, man. Fuck out of here. Niggas come from the yard, he get everybody right. See, I know about this shit from soccer. I play soccer and karate, man. This shit we do.
Tuesdays and Thursdays when I make juice, my normal production days. So Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then if I have an event that weekend, the next time I will make juice for the event, so like Friday or Saturday, I'm moving. Appreciate you though, thank you. No bullshit, thank you. Where you from?
He used to be a fucking he won a championship in Philly at high school back at Benjamin Franklin. That was when dinosaurs was out there. Yeah, the motherfucking dinosaurs and all that shit. Pyramids. God damn. Yo, this shit, man, what's going on? What you doing, man? You trying to fuck me up, man? You trying to fuck my ACL up? God damn, this shit. I don't know how they do this shit every day. Damn. Yeah, he crazy. He gonna be sore for a week. That motherfucker 50, man. This joint ain't no joke. Oh, man, this is beautiful pain right here. You can feel his joint. Gotta be doing something. All right, let me get out here, man. I'm ready to get out there.
Let me get out here and ball, man. I had a game, man. I played for the Catholic School League. I was cooking the whiteboards back in the day. You know, you go play with them, that means a lot of dudes ain't got no game. When they leave the city, you ain't got no real game. If you gotta leave the city, you ain't got no fucking game. Get I'm tired of this shit, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened, man? How y'all trying to sit?
Get in. This is the perfect drill. Go on, get in there.
Oh, I gotta cross one of these young boys over. See my game, man. All right. I only got one hand, coach. I only got one hand, though, coach. You got one? Yeah, so what am I do? Side to side. Oh, this shit ain't nothing. You don't rip that dude. Only on one side. Only on one side.
I'm trying to get more bread than Patrick Mahomes got.
Yeah, now, only on one hand. Yeah, no joke, guys. Sheesh. I'm a big guy, my fault. See? Fuck no. These track suits. How you be, big dog? Just tell me where to go, coach. I got it. I'm gonna come right up. Get there, bro. God damn. You can feel it in your legs. Shit. No walking. Get off the court. So we playing, man. Coach, hold on. When he was right here, you told big man, stay here. Because the ball was there. It wasn't there. He wasn't right there. It was there. I got you, coach. I got you. All right. All right. I got to check first. All right. We're going down, please. In real life, I barbecue. Real life. And then one man over here. I cooked it in real life. Get there. Come on in.
How you feeling?
I'm a different type of human.
No, he skipped out on the board on the ladder. He was in there hiding on the table.
See me? I'm ready to go to the league.
I'm ready to go to the league.
And I'm down there with the big guys. I know I ain't with these little guys. I ain't with the little guys. That's how I play. I play big. Cause they turn my back already.
Good. Corner on corner.
Finish. Oh, shit. I ain't doing no dunking. Open up. Come on, man. Oh, dang. Shit. God.
Think all eggs are the same? Think again. Avian flu has impacted millions of cage and cage-free hens, but even Jerry's free-range and pasture-raised hens get hands-on care and room to work.
With Apartments.com capturing the hearts of hundreds of millions of renters, everybody wants the secret to our success, but they're never going to get it. Will they, Craig?
No, sir.
Apartments.com. Ooh, the place to find a place.
Old school shit. God. Oh. My arm's too short, man. God damn.
He said, God damn.
God damn. Whew. Fucking back. Shit different. Yo. What the fuck they doing?
You gonna live now? You gonna live now?
God, they fucked my back up already. Shit. Yeah, man. Shit different. Gil gonna tap out over there. This shit. Whew. Come on, it's different. You got it, Neff. Come on. You got that shit, Neff. Come on, baby. This is what I do, Rich. Prison style.
Yeah, it's important. It's important for you to understand all sides of preparation.
All right, so where we going at with this shit?
I need 5.
Shit, motherfucker. Trying to get ready, trying to get my back back, Rich. Take my back. Rock with me.
Good. 3. Don't need 2.
Come on, baby.
Need 2. Come on.
Just for Rich down, Rich.
Might work.
I got it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. That's what I do, Rich. That's what I do, baby. Do right there.
Yeah, I have my own company. I ship. My fault.
That
yeah,
ship. The big football stuff.
Follow this on. Let's see if I can add a comment right quick. Damn. Damn.
Ain't no joke.
All right, JIZZJUIC3 on Instagram.
Hey, come on.
I'll show you.
Listen to this old shit he tell y'all about back in the day. About no Philly, don't listen to him. Rich, come on, man. You know I was on the injury reserve for years, man. He's coming back.
That's how you spell it.
That shit, Rich bullshit, man.
See it?
Rich got
That's how you spell it.
Rich taking that super pill.
JIZZJUIC3.
You just had a power smoothie. Where the smoothies at? You just had you got that super pill.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good. Shoot too, baby. Crossover too good.
Appreciate you, bro.
Foot still out there. That was a flavor. How you feel, Gulley? I feel great. Okay. Other than your youngins fucking me up because I'm going through the legs too fast. Try to break a nigga elbow. So I gotta improvise. I ain't got the body to throw into them niggas. So I gotta take an extra dribble to throw them all. That's not my game. You niggas is 210, 199. I'm 160.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, my fault. I got you. Thank you. Oh, damn. I gotta get that shit up a little high.
Damn.
Take that. Oh, all right. I'm trying to get that bitch up, coach. You fucking Rudy Gobert out this bitch. I ain't got a shot off yet. The fuck? I'm used to playing with niggas 6'4" and shorter, man. Not no nigga with no bush and no 7'4" wingspan and shit.
Okay, I'll have my guards. 1, 2, 3. Y'all be here. We're gonna pick and roll. Okay. After this 35 seconds up, here, you get your 2 minute water. Then we'll switch each other's spots. Okay.
Where do y'all boys keep this shit going, man? Where?
I don't think any of mine is expensive.
But you ain't saying nothing about Damian Gulley, man.
You stay with us.
Oh, all right, cool.
Ready?
Clutch on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Clutch!
Let's do it.
Hey, check. Sometimes you gotta check the coach, man. What you talking about, man? You said everybody but me.
Oh, they got real food in here. What's up? You really kicking. What you got in here to eat? You ain't no vegan shit? No vegan sausage? I take a fried egg, right? Burnt to the smithereens. See me 2 fried eggs. You ain't got no jelly in there, do you? Strawberries, some toast. You got toast? Yup. Toast. 2 fried eggs burnt to the smithereens. See, this what champions eat. I don't know what everybody else do. For real, back in the day, motherfucker grabbed a 40, ICF, ice cold 40, drank 2 40s and go score 40 on somebody. That's how we play.
No, we filling our guys up with the best.
They got the best here though. I'm ready to knock this off. Fried. I'm telling you, I want to see that shit get dark skin. Fried real hard. 2 of them joints. This is great though to see. For me to see this shit, man, it's like to come inside the inner workings of this and see these guys before they ready to go to the next level. They doing this shit every day for months. This shit real. They really, because you think like, well, I know it probably used to be like that. You know you're going to draft and you just fall back and wait till it's time. Put the hat on there. But the fact of knowing I know now why you gotta get stretched now. I'm looking at this shit like, damn, these boys ready to be pro. Some of these dudes gonna be Hall of Famers in that run.
We got a great class.
Man, I know.
Our biggest, but we got a great class.
Everybody's 7 foot. I'm like,
we got some 7 footers.
These some monster young boys. They not sweet. Shit ain't easy. What's up, big dog? He ain't gonna make it.
You gotta get up and do this every morning. Every day, no breaks.
That's crazy. My man. So look, this is breakfast for champion, right? You only got one side? Look at the other toast. I'm taking both of that. No. Look at this. This is a monster sandwich right here. You finna catch up on the 8. If you don't use no ketchup, it ain't right, man. Look at this. Here you go. You hook that shit up. This is how you supposed to eat, man. Yeah, I take that breakfast for champions. What type of smoothie is this? What do it do? Damn.
You got protein in there? No protein.
That'll do it too. This is breakfast for champions right here. No.
I know. We're stop making calls. I ain't got no time for the season, man.
Come on, Bryson. Left side.
Listing your vacation rentals on Booking.com opens the door to more guests, like this bunch. These lovebirds. Or this fine company. For the bookings you've dreamed of, list your vacation rentals on Booking.com.
Chupa Chups Melody Pops. Taste the music.
Round up spare change and saving stocks of Bitcoin. Can you use your Cash App card?
Give me 17 cents on Bitcoin.
Down.
I would say mango and strawberry. No, peach and strawberry. Peach and strawberry. Not gonna do peach like that. Definitely peach and strawberry.
Come on.
Fuck, man. Oh, no, I'm done, man. I'm done. I don't know where it's at.
Okay, I'm gonna take you to
Where they training at, man?
I seen you grab me the back.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. What's up, baby?
Where's food do you call?
What's up? I'm going to the table.
How you gonna act like you wanna get drunk?
No, I can't. No.
You called me and said, hey.
No. Gil said that. Gil said that. What I did is I called and said I'm getting tutelage and knowledge about being an agent. I'm on the agent side. I'm on the agency side.
So you want to be on the business side?
That's what I'm doing. I give
Why
you
you
that.
going back on the table?
Because I got to get my back realigned. They fucked my back up out there, man. Where the table do that, man? You can play.
It's a joke, right? You see?
I hate that one boy over there, man. I don't even hate people.
So you understand what's happening here?
But the big boys, that's what the big boys said.
Instead of got to come in.
Look, the big boys like him, they said, no, you with us, Wallow. All the big boys, I was playing with them. I wasn't playing with them.
That's how you play on the
I played, they know my game. They know I play big.
But you play as a big
look.
That's why. No, but you ain't doing it, man. He gonna block me.
I ain't worried about this. You see this shit? You see that?
No.
I play, listen, I'm gonna post him right up. You gotta understand. Him too. I post the big dudes up, man. I don't play that shit. What?
No, you're not.
What? Him?
Man, let them go get changed.
That's how I play, man. You be
We're not playing no game.
How y'all put up with this bull, man? I don't know how they put up with you, man.
What you mean?
You be running around.
All I do is work.
My fault, supposed to go this out. I'm sorry.
Let's go. Tight.
Come on, rescreen.
Come on. Take to the elbow. Good. That's the nail.
Oh, man, I'm tired. Come on.
Let's go.
I fought, coach.
Come on, push. Come on.
Shit.
Come on. Angle. Angle right. Open up.
Fuck.
Let's go.
There we go. I'm tired of shit. I'm sorry, coach.
Come on, girl.
Oh, 6? All right, come on. Let's go, baby. I don't airball shit, coach. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Here we go.
Don't tell Rich.
Get back in there.
Don't tell Rich. He calling the Clippers for me right now. Don't call. Don't tell him. I'm gonna be in shape by the time he need me. This is the bathroom. Bro, nigga, I'm 48, nigga.
Yeah, you gotta assess it out.
Shit.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
God damn.
Yeah, ain't no other 48-year-olds out here.
Fuck no.
You know what I'm saying?
Fuck no. They would have been quick. Hey, man, get your dumb ass up, man. We ain't even finished yet, man.
You just was throwing up.
Sometime. Who the fuck told? Who told?
Everybody know about it. The whole gym, he was throwing up.
You told Rich?
No, Rich wants to see the video.
Don't tell Rich, because he told the Clippers I'm in shape, so. I might got a little, yeah, that's all.
No, you ain't getting no tell. Yo, you're not going to move tomorrow.
One thing they can tell you, I can shoot with them youngins,
but listen,
sure.
you're not going to move tomorrow. Hey, cuz.
I'm gonna go, the cold lift? Shit. They gonna do push-ups, I'm gonna do push-ups. One. I'm gonna do 300 of these. He like push-ups sound good.
Hey, cuz. What? He think I'm 36.
Shit. That nigga did 20 years in jail. I know. I know. Look at him. But look.
I play with the big boys.
So look. And then my socks all wiggling on his toes. in the air for my man with a towel on, wiggling the suit. That man crazy.
Nah, I think it's good. It worked though, man.
Them boys in shape, man.
Yeah, they in shape.
There's too much shit.
And that's the key to draft workout is to be in the best shape. People think if I go into this workout and hit every shot, they're gonna draft me. No, it don't mean that. I had guys go and miss most of their shots they took them. They're trying to see based upon need, how you fit the role, can you process information and be able to make the right read? You know, like, are you your character? Are you willing to star in a role? You know, like, if I got this team and I already have my guys,
right.
Then you come in here thinking you are
The guy? No.
I don't need that.
Right.
So this process is all of that.
Right.
But we build on the foundation of the work, the details of it, the habits of it, and then we go full service.
Yeah.
Full service. Just facility.
Them kids in shape, man.
And shape. And shape.
They in shape and shape. Because for us to do all of them drills, and that kid say, we only about halfway through. What? He was like, yeah, we got to go lift for an hour and a half, and then we come back on the court. So y'all be having like 5-hour workouts?
When they go home, they take a shower, eat again.
Go to bed.
I took that shower, ate, it was really done.
Why you still laying down, man? Ain't nothing.
They might wake up and eat again.
Yeah.
They, you know.
Yeah.
So go take a cold plunge. They got to do this all over again tomorrow. And tomorrow is bald head Wednesday. They get a haircut down to a buck.
Why?
Because we go even harder tomorrow.
That's boot camp, man.
Tomorrow, ask any of them. Now, what's tomorrow? They'll be like, oh, man. When you see them tomorrow,
Bald head Wednesday?
Bald head Wednesday, the barbershop. So Monday, you come in, you get your little line up. Tuesday, you might get a tape. Wednesday, because you're coming on the other half of the week, they'll be winding down.
They ain't really got to get no bald heads. They just.
No. That's just.
All right. I was going to say, motherfuckers going to be leaving clutch. Come in with curly shit. Bald head Wednesday. Nah, I'm going to. Kind of look like them niggas.
Thursday, Friday. Then after this, though, they go up. Like some of them may have their communications session. Where they sit with the communications team.
Talk. Ask questions.
Interview, ask questions. They all have had their pre-draft interview prep already.
Yeah.
They all get a playbook. Every team, every organization, what their roster looks like, age, years, service, everything. So now when you go into your interview process, we over-prepare. The most important thing for me is this.
Yeah.
Helping them understand, our foundation is basketball. When we sit around and talk about everything to get that nourishment.
Yeah.
To get those jewels that we got, but in a different capacity.
Yeah.
So that's what's so important to me. Really why I do.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you know.
That's my man right there. Who he play for Florida? Yeah.
National champion.
Yeah.
Natural leader.
Yeah. Come on, man. You help me get through the drills, man. Come on, Gil, push, man. You got it, man. You got it, OG. My ankles is like, you don't got it. He's like, you got it, OG. My knees is like, nigga, go to the locker room. He's like, you got it, OG.
Yes, sir. How many years you want to take try to do working on it? How you gonna get your gold?
I got the deal done for you, seriously.
Yeah, go try.
I got the deal done. That's what we're gonna do.
You're gonna be like, I'm playing real basketball.
We're doing the pre-training camp deal. So what'll happen is you go to training camp before everybody get there. We take you through everything. That week is what you're gonna get paid for. You get the uniform, everything, you get to take it home, and we're good.
Yeah. All right, that's
cool.
cool.
You don't gotta do a bunch of points. You got a job. You got a bunch of playing and all that.
You heard me? Understand I'm supposed to be there. This shit ain't happened by accident. Feel me? I know some of y'all gonna walk around like, yo, that's blind, oh shit. But understand, y'all supposed to be there. That fucking work y'all just put in out there every day, except for Sundays, y'all supposed to be there. Feel me? Same confidence you had going into Florida, going into whatever college. Same confidence going into that NBA locker room. Right? Most motherfuckers, when they get there, and they don't do good, they're confident. You say motherfucker won't miss in college, then you get to the league, you can't make an open fucking jumper. Confidence. Believing in yourself. Like, no, I'm supposed to be here. Now, I'm happy they go, that is KD, but shit, I'm supposed to be there. Feel me? Well, y'all, man, wish them got nothing but the best. Go be great. Go be great, fellas. You hear me? My ankle said, them niggas is too fast and too young. Take your old ass home. Anytime he said, hey man, I hate this drill. And then he said, I'm like, what you hate about this drill? You about this? Well, do your thing, brother. Look at him. All you want is a snack. You got a couple. Shut up.
Modelo Chelada. Mexican beer with bold flavors and spices.
He came out and said he's gay a week later. Conveniently gay, that's what I called it, and they got mad at me. So that's what happened. I ain't got no problem with the nigga, but if you put out a song, I'm just saying, if you put out a song and you put out music the last 20 years, and this is the first song saying that you sucked your little cousin's dick and he's in jail for murder, and this is the reason he may be in jail, we not allowed to say nothing about that? You got 3, 4, 5 albums, Grammys. We ain't had no dick sucking on none of these other joints. Now it's that's what I'm saying. We had motherfucking Good Morning, and they like Good Morning, you know, the other shit with Pusha T. We don't hear nothing about dick sucking. So the first time you talking about you molested your little cousin, we not allowed to talk about it? Come on, bro. I gotta stop. 100 other niggas talking about it. Same thing with other people. 100 other niggas mention it. But when Cam say something, this niggas like you that you said you suck dick. All right, we didn't know that. We're talking about it. Then you said after that, all that you gay. Okay, if you gay, fine, you gay. I didn't know. You're a public figure. Not only just a public figure, you're a superstar. Or was a superstar. Well, I don't know if he was or is or what. You're going to talk about when you say you suck dick, Kanye. And that's just what happened. I'm not dissing you or judging you or anything else. We just never heard that you like to do that.
That's, What battle you ever had in the industry that you felt didn't go your way?
A music battle or just trials and tribulations within the industry?
No, just all about music.
Nothing to do with lyrics back and forth. Just in the music. Are you saying beef with another rapper? Or are you saying business-wise?
No. No. I mean, well, most of your back and forths were a little aggressive, but
no, because the reason I'm asking, not to cut you off, the reason I'm asking that, because it's fights that I have within the industry that people don't know about. It ain't always a battle with Nas or a battle with 50 Cent or a battle with Jay-Z. There's other battles going on in the music industry, so that's why I'm trying to clarify exactly what question you're asking.
Have you ever felt that you had a battle musically, lyrically, that you felt didn't go your way?
Maybe when Mace came out with the Oracle. Maybe that's it. Besides that, because everybody, you know, that's what I tell Mace. Mace doesn't rap that often, so when he does, people pay attention to it because he's well respected as an MC. And so when he did the Oracle, nobody was even talking about Mace or thinking about Mace, not in a bad way, but it was out the blue. It's like on a random Wednesday at 7 in the morning, and nobody was like, where Mace come from? Because I said things about Mace on the record maybe a year or two prior. So he took time out that day, and he was like, boom, I feel like dissing Cam back today for all the shit that he said prior. So it was kind of a shocker. And I may have rushed to do reply because I had some business going on. I got paid for so Mace put out the diss record, the Oracle. I put out a record, I forget what it was called, but they paid me for my response for the YouTube views. So I'm like, I'm gonna take that check and I'll get the song done away. But a lot of people felt Mace won that. So outside of that, outside of Mace, no, not really, but Mace, a lot of people think he won that.
I was going before that. I wanted you to tell a story, the battle before that.
What battle?
Kid from Huck.
Well, which one?
Yeah.
Who?
Depp.
G-Depp? Oh, I didn't have a deal then. Yeah, I mean, that's why I was like, you gotta be more specific. But when you're talking about, I thought you meant like as a professional. But if you're talking about a street battle, me, Mace, and Bloodshed used to go battling mad niggas. Or we'll have one-on-ones. You know, we was talking about, it is what it is. Years ago, we went in St. Nick and battled Mino and shot the Vacant Lot and everybody. We battled them before. We would go have ciphers on the hill with Mike Boogie and Trooper J, and of course Big L's on my block, so we would rhyme 3-4 times a week. But when you talk about a battle, a back and forth, that's why I was like, we need to be more specific. We had a 3-on-3 battle. It was me, Mason, Bloodshed against G-Depp and 2 other people, but we didn't have a deal that we was all trying to get deals. And Mace was battling somebody. It was a group, it was like a 3-on-3 wrestling match, a basketball game or some shit like that. And Mason Bloodshed basically was killing the niggas, and I never heard of G-Depp before at the time. They was killing the 2 niggas that they were battling against, and I was battling against G-Depp, and I lost that battle. Like, you know, if it was 2 rounds apiece, G-Depp probably beat me both rounds back then. And because we know, to be totally honest with you, we was going around whipping everybody's ass when it came to battling. Even that battle we won because of Mason Bloodshed. They killed the other 2 niggas, but I was slacking in that battle and I wasn't well prepared. I remember it was in Lakeview, right there on Hunt 6 in Madison. And G-Depp kind of got at me in that battle. I don't even know if he remembers, but we won the battle because of Mason Bloodshed, but I was slacking because we was going around killing niggas all the time, and G-Depp definitely got at me at that battle. I lost my rounds against G-Depp, but Mason Blood held it down for the team. But G-Depp, that's the only person outright that I'll say got at me in a street battle one-on-one.
Yeah, it was all included. I was just talking about music before the deal, after the deal, so that's where I was going with that.
You know, when you said battle, I thought you meant the battles, the trials and tribulations. I didn't know where you was going with it.
Yeah. The Rockefeller thing. And we always talk about Jay-Z and Rockefeller because that was a big part of your career. So just for people who absolutely like, well, why are always talking about Jay-Z? That's why. So everybody got their stories. Well, even I heard Memphis Bleak saying like he felt like shit was gonna end when him and Dan was arguing on the plane. Or everybody got their own little stories. When did you feel that shit was about to split up, the Rockefeller thing?
I don't know. That's a good question. For me, when it was going to split up, I don't know. I just know that it was a point, it got to a point for me, for Cam, to where I got there, when I say there to Rockefeller, is that I was, and I don't want to use the word kiss ass, but that's basically what I was doing, pause. Because I didn't want to step on nobody's toes, and I just wanted to be cool. Kind of how you see Jimmy Butler coming into the Golden State Warriors. You want to work within the system, you don't want to do too much. You want to sit there because they already got their thing going. It was even to the point where Dame had other distribution at other companies. And I was saying, I don't want to go to the Rockefeller Def Jam. Let's do Rockefeller Electro or Rockefeller Columbia, because you have other distribution outside of Def Jam. And I told him this. I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to step on nobody's toes. He said, nah, it'll be good. It'll be cool, da, da, da. So I tried to be the Jimmy Butler of that situation. But it just gives you, you know, when you're there, you be like, yo, hey guys, how you doing? And you just know that they not vibing with you. It just gets to a point where it's like, oh well, I just gotta be here and come to work and do what I gotta do. And after that, what happens. But I don't know exactly when I thought it was over, but when it was over for everybody else, because you gotta think, it may have been over for Jay-Z and his brain at one point in time, or Memphis Bleak or whatever, he thought it was over. Dame was saying that I can't hold this together anymore, or Beanie C.
Nah, cold. Always serve cold when we drink it.
And they think that this shit ain't gonna work no more. For me, the one thing that stood out, and I obviously talked about before, I could talk about it, tell you 100 different scenarios that probably happened, but the one thing when I said, oh, this shit is definitely over, and I spoke about it on probably Drink Champs a couple years ago, is when I walked in the studio and it was Bean by myself. It was Beans, Bleak, and Jay in the studio. And I walked in and all of them stopped talking. They just was looking at me. And I was trying to tweet to them, like, hey, what's up, niggas? What's good? And they like, just head nodding me. And I'm like, these niggas just was talking about me. Because nobody just abruptly stops talking about whatever they were talking about. And then Beans confirmed it later that they was talking about me. So when that happened, I said, oh, these niggas they never gonna fuck with me. So that's kind of the point where I felt like, all right, I guess I could stop trying to be friends, because obviously these niggas ain't fucking with me. But I think a lot attributed also to where I just was moving fast, man. And when I say fast, it's because I was in a bad situation. And Dane told me that this would probably be my last opportunity in music if I don't succeed. So I was just trying to do everything in my power not to make that my last opportunity before I have to get a job.
Oh, all right. Before the next question, you ever bring in Dame on the show?
Yeah, I mean, if Dame want to come on one of these days, we could sit down and have a conversation. I would love to talk to Dame one of these days. You know, that's my big bro for life. I love Dame, man.
Oh, okay. Still got a crush on Nia Long?
Always. That ain't never going to go away. Am I ever going to get with her? I don't know. She be giving me little shouts out here and there, you know, little shout out to Nia, man. I seen when, what's his them niggas? TMZ ran down on her. They like, what's up with you? She said, hey, Cam. You know, that made me tingle a little bit when she did that, man. So I'm always going to have a crush on Nia Long, man. Will it be a realistic thing? Who knows, man? I wouldn't even, I would just like to take her to dinner one day. I would not even going to bring what I got going on in her life, man. Yeah, I wouldn't even do that to her, man. But if I could take...
Where?
Pardon me?
What place did you take her where?
No, I'd probably do lunch on the jet, get a chef. You just fly around and eat. Then we laying back.
You think he neat?
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, I'll probably hire a chef. We just fly around for an hour and a half, watch a movie, you know, eat on the jet. And then if she want to land back where we took off from, we can land back where we took off from. If she want to take it somewhere else, we can go somewhere else. We'll play it out by ear. That's how I would do it.
There's a psycho dressed up like Brendo trying to kill us.
Now playing only in theaters. Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Grainger's here for you with professional grade supplies. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The future of trading is here on Robinhood.
Wow. You know what's crazy? I never talked to you about this. Y'all had a long time ago the whole Dipset. Y'all was on stage in Philly. I don't know if it was Philly Jam or whatever. And y'all had a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
You own a beauty salon in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever run across the same niggas you had a big fight with? Because you know everybody know each other in Philly, and Philly's kind of small in a way. And you hung out in Philly a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Did you ever run across anybody from that fight?
You know what's crazy is that I never actually physically ran across them, but I shot a video. It's called Lord You Know with Jaheem. And we shot that shit in Philly after that fight. But my head of security back then was from Philly. Shout out to the Twin Towers. Back in the days, those were my security. And we shot the video, and the video was cool and everything else, and it was cool. The people in the neighborhood was cool, everything. It was dope. So when we left the video, he was like, you know, we right there, them niggas that we had to fight with in Philly at the concert, this day block, they was right there in the corner. I'm like, word? He said, yeah, but everything was cool. We ain't want y'all to be acting like on point and everything else because it wasn't about nothing. This is what Twin Towers were telling me because he actually knew who we was fighting and what neighborhood we was in. We didn't know shit. We were just shooting a video in Philly. And yeah, but I never actually had a convo, but I not even think. We shot a video on their block. And everything was cool. They didn't say shit about it. I didn't even know we was on their block, but the niggas I was with from Philly told me we was on their block, but I never actually had a convo with them or nothing.
Out of all the music videos you did, which one was your least favorite and which one was your favorite?
Out of all the music videos I did, I don't never really have a least favorite. I mean, today I would probably, I don't know, I wouldn't say, more recently, it was always fun to shoot a video, especially in the late 90s, early 2000s, because they were big budget videos. Now you could get the same quality or better quality for $10,000, $20,000, if that, maybe even less. We got niggas going platinum off iPhone videos. But I shot a lot of great videos. When I say my favorite probably was probably Bout It, maybe Bout It was my favorite video with Master P, because Dipset was on the rise at that time. Master P was a super duper star at the time, and he let us use that Bout It beat. And not only did he let us use the beat, he came to Harlem to shoot the video. We had Harlem on tilt. Then for Master P to show up in Harlem and shoot the video, stick around 2-3 hours amongst the people in Harlem, yeah, that was a really, really big deal. So I want to tell Master P today, thank you for doing that. And that was probably the most fun video because it was like an all-day shit. We went from downtown Harlem to uptown Harlem to on the hill in Harlem. We was in every part of Harlem shooting that video. It was really dope. So that was my favorite. And least favorite, I don't think I got a least favorite, man. Every opportunity is a great opportunity, man.
That leads me to my next question, because one of my favorite videos from y'all was the Get 'Em Daddy remix. I want that was leading into the next one. Mm-hmm. You got shot, and then you shot a video like with the cast on and shit. Mm-hmm. I just thought the whole video was fly.
Thank you. Yeah, that was good too. I like that too.
Yeah,
I like that.
How did that go? Yeah, like after you got shot, how long did it take to get in the studio, do the song, and then the video process?
Probably a week. After I got shot, and then I left the hospital the next day. Went to the doctor, got all that shit cleared up. But we was quicker and shit. Like, that's the one thing with Dipset, when we was doing the mixtapes and everything, we didn't wait. Imagine the internet. We had the internet access. Shit would have been out in 10 minutes after I got shot. We just put shit out like 2-3 days, if that. Because we were workaholics. Like I said, we were not in the best situation my first 2 albums. So when we got the Rockefeller, we had access to a studio. Shout out to my nigga Juan. We would go to Baseline. As long as nobody was in them studios, we would get to work and work all the time. So we put in the studio probably 48 hours after I got shot. Called the director, probably shot the video maybe a week after I got shot. Probably a 12-day process of everything. The song was out in 3 days. The video was edited in another 7-8 days. So we got to work. Nobody died. So, pardon me, we kept it moving. But I love that video too. That was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, that shit tough.
What's up? You still fucking with Jello Ball, man? What's
Nah,
I heard the freestyle, man.
Nah, I ain't got no problem with Jello Ball. You know what it be? It's just that when niggas say shit and I don't say nothing back, I'm eventually gonna say something back one of these days. It just may not be on the time period that people want it to be. You know how somebody say shit and they be in the comments, they be like, yo, you got 24 hours to respond. Or they be like, if this record comes up, like, yo, so-and-so, you got 48 hours. No, I don't. I got as much time as I want because I got other shit to do. So the reason I even threw a shot at Jello Ball, and like I said, this ain't nothing. I don't have no problem with Jello Ball. Congratulations on what he's doing, so on and so forth. But he did do an interview, and they was asking him about his rap career, and he was like, I feel like I'm colder than Cameron. And I'm like, really? Wow. They got one hook out there.
You know the nigga bugging.
Yeah,
we bugging.
Yeah. He got one hook out. He got one hook out there, and he said he colder than me. So I'm like, I'm gonna tuck that in the PV pocket. I don't know if y'all know the PV pocket. That's the little pocket on your jeans. I took it and tucked it in there, and then I said I get to it when I get to it. But I put it in the PV pocket because I didn't have time for it at the moment. Because you know when he did that interview, what happened was, and this is the thing about it, people always moving the goalposts, always changing what the topic is. The topic was at the time that he wasn't a good basketball player. Not good, that he wasn't an NBA-ready basketball player, because he's a good basketball player. I just felt he wasn't as good as his brothers. I felt he could play overseas, but he didn't want to go overseas. So when his music came out after that, he like, yeah, Cam, and they didn't know I had this down the pipeline, of course. And I'm like, nobody did. I didn't know you was a rapper, but I never dissed you for being a rapper. I said you're not better than your brothers basketball-wise, and you're not an NBA basketball player. I never dissed him as a rapper because I didn't even know he could rap. So when I did the interview, he's like, yeah, Cam, you know I had this. No, I didn't. I didn't know him. I thought you was a basketball player. I didn't know you could rap. That's dope. But I feel like I'm colder than Cam. Really? Okay, just fuck all the work I put in all these years. And I know my own talent, so I just held on to that. And then I threw him a little 4 bars and I kept it moving. Freestyle ain't even about him. I gave him 4 bars and kept it moving. But that's the reason I even said something, because I never said nothing about it. I just was like, okay, cool. But I won't forget.
And you know what's crazy? I wasn't even trying to be like, because if you don't notice, I don't be asking questions about like gossip and nonsense. I see that happen recently. Shakur Stevenson went up to Breakfast Club and Jess, whatever her name is, it seemed like she had something against you. I don't know what's going on, but she read a question. So y'all got to start preparing for your interview. She read a question that May said a year ago, trying to stir some shit up. You understand what I'm saying? And Shakur didn't fall for that. Shout out to Shakur for that. And so that's why I asked some of these questions, because you just did a freestyle. But I don't want to. I'm not here to be messy. I'm here to get the history of Diplomat, Dipset, Cameron's career, shit that y'all want to talk about. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, shout out to Shakur. Like, I don't got a problem with Shakur Stevenson either, man. Hopefully he come on the show one of these days, man. I think he's an outstanding fighter. I think he's one of the best fighters. It was just that, I guess, like I said, when we say something, people tend to get a little bit more upset when we say it. I never thought that he was a bad fighter. Like I said, I just think he's one of the top fighters. And we watched one of his fights, and I guess he didn't like how we critiqued it. But I have nothing against Shakur Stevenson. And I appreciate him not letting shit linger on, because I'm not lingering on nothing either.
Yeah, I got you.
I hope the nigga keep fucking winning. He's, you know, the one thing about Shakur, you could say he's boring.
Come get it.
Not whatever critique you want to say about Shakur, but what you can't say is that he lost the fight to undefeated champion, and that's not easy to come by. So shout out to Shakur for not feeling as well. But just hilarious. I don't know what I did to her, man. You know, it's a couple times she's always said something slick about me or whatever. I don't know what I did to her. I know one time I had reposted something that people didn't like and they was against it, and she commented on it. And my girl at the time, I had a girlfriend at the time, my girlfriend had just died. And just was hilarious, was like, Cameron, you need to shut up. Didn't your bitch just die? I'm like, wow, okay. Wow, damn, okay. Well, really, so where this comes from, I have no idea, but that's how much she don't like me, for her to 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, be like, Cameron, you need to shut up. Your bitch just died. Or a month later, however long it was. She said that. So I don't know what I did to her, what the problem's about. But
we gotta give her a pass. She don't know and hang out with girls that fight like men. She just give her a pass.
I never said nothing, bro. I never even responded to it. I didn't say shit.
You know what's crazy? I found out later, but I know you told your story when you went to do the paid in full audition. You brought a real gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but you wanted that part. Did you know that Nas tried to get the same? He did the audition to get the same part that you had, and maybe that's why you bought a gun. Like what? Did you know that then?
No, I actually know it's crazy. I didn't know that. I found that out on Instagram because they released Nas audition tape, and when I see his audition tape to play Rico, I'm like, where my audition tape at? I would love to see my audition tape, man. I didn't know who else was auditioning for it.
I'm not going anywhere tonight.
Yeah, man.
I'm even doing that.
Charles,
with this
Stone, Daniel, whoever got that, Miramax, I would love to see my audition tape because I see Nas's audition tape. I was like, my shit got to be crazy. But no, I did not know who else was auditioning. I just know that I had an opportunity to play in a movie, not just a movie that was about Harlem. That was one of the most popular stories.
Since Watermelon, I added green apples to it.
One of the most celebrated.
No, it's not.
I don't mean like celebrated. One of the most entertaining characters in that movie.
It is.
And I was like, yo, if I get this part right now,
not like Watermelon.
When I mean coinciding, I just got out my deal with Epic. So, okay, cool. I'm about to sign a Rockefeller. Cool. If I get this movie,
when I tell you something like that, I love you. You tell them like, yeah, I do.
And the music go good. And the music, this could be a snowball effect.
When you were young, you used to be like, shut up, faggot.
And I was like, yo, I gotta get this part.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna ask Auntie Debbie did I do
went
that.
to the audition.
Definitely did it.
How you know? You weren't even born. What thought about?
It's like when you read the lines and all that. You was reading the lines and everything. So I said, yo, you think I should take the gun with me? There's a real pistol.
Oh, you on? I didn't know that.
Yeah, take the gun. So when I'm reading for the part, and it was time to pull the gun out, I made sure that there was none in the chamber, and I took the clip out and all that. But I pulled out the real hammer, and the nigga I was reading was like, yo, and I'm like, so I'm still in my part though. I'm still sitting in the part with the gun out. And Dame is like, because when you're doing the movie, it's like this desk here that we're on, but it's somebody in the middle, somebody there, and they're just watching you. So Dame is sitting here watching me. So Dame stands up and I'm like, yo, Cam, chill. And I'm like, and other two people that was there, I can't remember if it's Charles Stone, the director, whoever, they was like, they was nervous. And Dame was like, yo, Cam, chill. Dame was laughing. I'm like, you ever see it? Shut it off, and the girl be like, I need that money. That's that was my voice. I said, I need that part, man. I need the part. Dame said, you did good. Put the gun away. I said, just showing y'all how dedicated I am to the role. I'm trying to get this part. But Dame fought for me to get the part as well, so. But I was determined to get the part.
You got any movie roles after that? Maybe you turned down that movies that came out? Like, say like, Tupac was supposed to be Bubba Gump and Forrest Gump movie, and after that was just dope. Like, you know what I mean? But he was locked up. He got locked up, but did you have any more offers?
Yeah, I had a couple of offers. The one that stands out to me, that I can't think of the name of the movie, but Marlon Wayans is in it with Tom Hanks. And I was supposed to play the part, I believe, Marlon Wayans got. Can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But when I read, I'm like, nah, not yet. I can't do roles like that just yet. Because what happens is this, is that people who watch movies don't necessarily, because movies wasn't my main income. I got $7,500 to do payment for. Yeah, there you go, Lady Killers. There you go. Thank you, Larry. Larry brought it up. Lady Killers. I could have gotten that movie with Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors. But when I read the role, I'm like, nah, man, niggas ain't gonna like this from me right now. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, I can't do this, even though it's Tom Hanks. And I was one of Tom Hanks. I ended up being one of Tom Hanks' worst movies. So I'm like, good, I dodged the bullet. But the point being is, fans have blurred lines. Like when you sit there and be like, yo, you killed Mitch last night. I did a good job. Or when you sit there and be like, yo, Cam, you ain't do nothing but act like Cam last night because of the music. They don't understand the difference. You got to think about this, and I don't know if B's over numbers or if Larry was into it like how we is into it, but I know me and Sin had this conversation, and we sit there and watch Men's Society, and we loved it. We loved it. And then you go rush to the movie theater because Old Dog's in the new movie, and he's a sucker in the new movie, and now you just in the movie theater like, damn, Old Dog, what the...
Inkwell was bad.
Yeah, Inkwell, there you go. I remember going to see Inkwell, and a nigga stepped in the movie and said, not you, dog, and walked the fuck out. Come on, man, not dog, and walked out the movie theater. I waited because I thought some other shit was going to happen, and it just never happened, and I walked out the movie theater because I was so fascinated with the Old Dog character that I thought that that's what I was going to get. And then you be like, yo, niggas is actors, like, what do you want to do? It's like right now, y'all, I'm just giving y'all an example of being loud. Sin just watched The Wire for the first time a couple months ago. He just watched Sopranos. And it's not a diss. I'm not dissing you for just watching it. What I'm saying is, it's not a diss. What I'm saying is, he's just, I'm not even going to get to The Wire. He's just watching The Sopranos. I watch The Sopranos all the time. I watched Sopranos last night, just turned on a random episode. Because I just always get some shots Sopranos. I just turned on season 5, episode 7. I don't watch Sopranos many times. But the moral of the story is, Sin just watched these series a few months ago. And now he's starting to try a formal coalition of, nah, we got to get niggas back. It shouldn't be over. Sopranos been over 17, 18 years. He talking about, yo, we got to get to the writers. We got to find out why Tony ain't show Tony died. I said, Sin, these people are dead. Tony's dead. What are you talking? Paulie's dead. But what I'm saying is,
how you know that? They playing mind games, my nigga.
No, Sin, calm down. I'm saying Tony's dead in real life. James got to find the real actor's dead. And Paulie, the real actor's dead, Sin. He's still mad. Look, he about to talk about how you know Tony dead. He's dead. The real character is dead. He's trying to form a coalition of right people on how y'all gonna let this. The shit ended in 2007. He's saying in 2025 we gotta start a petition on why.
What happened? What happened?
What
died on the water. What you stopping a good thing for?
Well,
that's niggas' problem. The niggas always trying to change something up. Huh?
Well, a lot of people died on the wire. And listen, you gotta listen. Listen, you got Snoop dead. Chris went to jail. He got life. What's his name? Amon's in jail. Weebay's in jail doing life. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Pop Joe is dead. Only nigga who really survived was Marlo. Niggas all died, man.
I love it.
But you late. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, like you said, when people fall in love with certain shit, they just like certain shit. So when I got offered the part Marlon Wayans got and Lady Killers, I was like, not now. Maybe one day, if movies my main income, that I could play roles like this. Like the last movie I just put out. It wasn't a killer cam like everybody wanted, but it got a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. You know that's the #1 movie review. And there's action movies out there, Avengers, all types of, they get 92, 89. The movie I just got put out on Rotten Tomatoes got 100%. Make sure y'all go check it out. It's on Prime at the moment. Apple TV. It's called Is It a Crime? 100%, not 90. I'm talking about all these movies just came out. I'm the only movie that came out. I ain't gonna say only. The only movie I seen when I'm reading the reviews, 2025. I don't give a fuck if it's Idris Elba or whoever you want to name, or Martha Stewart. I don't give a fuck what actor you want to name. Nobody got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. My movie I just put out, I'm not even being a villain and nothing like that. It's a crossover movie, 100%. Because now I feel like I could do shit like that. Back then, I didn't feel like the world was ready to see me in a role outside of some gangster shit.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you to tell people where to go see it at.
Yeah, Apple.
Is it a Crime?
Yeah, Is It a Crime? It's on Apple TV, Prime, and now available on VOD, depending on which cable subscriber you have.
Hey, listen, I know we running out of time, and I got way more questions, but you just got to answer this last question. I seen this game on Instagram. Shout out to PT, because he gave a funny answer. Describe your ex in a movie title, using a movie title.
Which ex? I got mad exes, it's mad movies. They all, I don't know which ex you talking about. Your ex in a movie title.
PT said Jaws.
See, I like that. I like that. I like Jaws. I like Jaws a lot. I like Jaws. Damn, that's a good one, man. I wish I would have prepped for that one. And a movie title. Damn, why am I drawing a blank right now? I like Jaws a lot, right? But that doesn't apply for none of my drinks. For one of them, it do. Damn, that's a really, really good one. I watch a lot of movies too. Damn. I don't know. I have to get back to you on that one. I have to really look at. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to you because I'm gonna come back with like 3 titles for 3 different joints. My 3 different exes. Yeah.
Oh, and we didn't forget the girls neither. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I see y'all doing the show and y'all got pink helmets that everybody want that nobody can win. It's different when I'm around. All right, I'm for the people, and I'm gonna make sure y'all get y'all gifts. All right.
That's great. Somebody actually won the pink helmet, son. What are you talking about? Somebody won. We gave it away. Where's everything? There's gotta be a fight, bro.
I ain't hear about it.
Yeah, wait. Yo, Nick, he tried to throw you under the bus. We actually did talk about it. That means you missing on the show. We actually it was a winner. We gave him the helmet. Pause.
All right, congratulations. I'm sorry. I'm man enough to say when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Do I get the same treatment back from Judge Glanville and the prosecution team? No. I know one thing, Sid. I know one thing. The time we get on Talk with Flea again next week, next Tuesday, 4 games are passed in the series between the Celtics and the Knicks, and we either gonna have a happy sin or a nervous sin, one or the other. We either gonna have a happy sin or a nervous sin, one or the other, and we'll find out if the Knicks are gonna get a sweep. We'll find out if it's gonna be 2-2, or we gonna see if it's 3-1. Let's see how this. Let's take a picture. Do a screenshot of his smile. Let's be there. That's hopefully a last, yo. I'll see you later, bro. My nigga Sin City, man. Yo, we appreciate everybody tuning in for Talk with Flea.
Hi, I'm Brother Nature. I made organic grains taste delicious.
Nature's path. To be free and flexible and creative was really essential to what I wanted to make, and I didn't find a platform that did that other than Wix. Hi, I'm May.
For your small business, no detail is too.
There's no debate. There's no debate in my eyes, and especially when we're talking about long-term investing. This is the matriarch. This is the guy who created the blueprint for it, and kudos to him. Kudos to him. Rashad, your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, somebody that has done it the right way, consistently over the course of time, stay true to his principles, stay true to what he believed in, and really helped a lot of everyday people feel comfortable investing. Yeah. No matter what, if it was some level of showmanship or whatever, but the way that he dressed, the way that he carried himself in public, it was welcoming to the average everyday person, and that helped a lot.
as far as getting people involved into investing and encouraging. And then, of course, you know, Jim Cramer, he came and he helped, and then we came. Yeah. So, you know, there's torches that get passed over the course of time.
Very historical footnote. You got to play history in this place.
But,
For sure.
My man, Warren Buffett, man, an icon, living. So congratulations to him. And, you know, hopefully he can have some time and do whatever he likes to do. I don't know what he likes to do, fish or whatever, but hopefully, I know he's a boxing fan.
For sure.
Hopefully he has some time to just chill out for a little bit and enjoy the rest of his life.
Yeah. I like that you said that he did it the right way. Because even when people came around our culture, you could kind of see it was kind of like how we're going to smooch off them, how we're going to use them for notoriety. And even when you saw him with Jay or you've seen him with Bron, it was almost like he was giving information. He was giving, He didn't need anything back. He didn't want the notoriety. He wasn't a guy who was looking for the notoriety or wanted the cameras to be around. It was just like, let me pour some information to y'all. And that's how it should be done.
Yeah, it was impactful for it. Yep. And he did it with Jay at a time when Jay was on the cusp of becoming an icon. He didn't wait till Jay became who he is now.
Yeah.
I think that's very special. And like you said, he did it the right way. And also, too, to focus on investing in great companies and being around great people. Like, you can see the friendship that him and Charlie had. Mary, who's like his right hand. Those relationships, power relationships, they've been together 40, 50 years. That's a dream life, and then to take care of the kids and see the kids flourish and to get back to the world. So just a true leader in this space at the time when it was a very like barbarian-like culture prior to his mantra being pushed forward.
So he's the one. There was some key takeaways from the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. From an investing standpoint and looking at the market, which everybody here, that's what they're interested in. What can we learn from this?
For me, the ones that stood out is number one, choose your circle wisely. There's a lot of alpha talked about on fundamental analysis and technical. It should always be combined, but not enough is talked about how you structure your team and who you choose to do life and business with is going to have a profound effect and impact on the top and bottom line. Number two, there are a bunch of contrarian opportunities that are available. I kept hearing them stress that. And in a time when everyone's panicked over a drop in the market, there's some opportunities there, and I think most people just are not looking at them. Kind of like in the NBA where like the Cavaliers didn't get highlighted in lieu of the Lakers. There are some bright spots in investing that not many people are talking about that are there. Number three is to be ripe with cash. I know some may criticize him for having that much cash on hand, but if he needed to go buy a Tesla car or company, or if he needed to buy into the ARAs of Greg, who's now a CEO, he has more than enough cash to do so, and it won't hurt their investment percentage into the market. And I know he talked about trade is not a weapon, but not to be worryful of things. Tariffs. Sorry about that. Tariffs. But not to worry about things in the short-term horizon. Like you said, Rashad, he's been through every era of this. The 87 crash, the dot-com crash, the 2008 crisis. A 15% pullback won't give any challenge for what they're looking to do. And I think sometimes as investors, we look at the media too much on a day-to-day basis and not looking over decades or like a 5-year period at the time. So not to focus on the short term, but to figure out things on the long-term horizon. And when those opportunities come, or when there is blood in the street, like there was in early April, that's the time to be buying.
Yeah, I think I'll add to some of the points you made. I think the first thing that came to mind was the tariffs being used as a weapon.
Yeah.
And how global prosperity benefits the United States. And he kind of went on that for a while. And I was like, all right, he's saying it, let's see how the market reacts to that. I think the second thing, and kind of the inverse to that, was that the United States deficit is just unsustainable.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said that he doesn't trust Congress to figure this out. And so it leads you to the point, well, who's going to try to figure this out, right? Right, that leave it up to the dictators to figure it out. I think one of the most important things, and this is again when we talk about 6-year plan, 6-year plan, 6-year plan, even with having $347 billion, right, they still have a cautious investment approach.
Yeah.
Like even with all the unset, like the market drops, they talked about potentially having a $10 billion acquisition. I don't know if they mentioned what company it was. And even in the midst of it, they were like, nah, yeah, that doesn't feel right. So I mean, having that type of discipline with having that level of a treasure chest, right? Like most people won't take a risk, and they're not even near. Like most people, I mean, the average person doesn't see that type of money. Yeah. But being at that level, having that much experience provides a level of discipline and certainty, right? Like you know that you're doing the right thing because you've seen this happen over and over. So those are like the three. Then obviously Fred Abel being named is the fourth point. I'm like, okay, now we got to study like who he is. In fact, when I did the research, he already said that this was going to be the person who's going to. Yeah, he said it in 2021. Yeah. And so I guess the timing of him doing it at the meeting was a surprise. Who he chose wasn't much of a surprise. Yeah.
Action! Service here! There is no higher service!
Address you wanted? Thanks, MJ.
And those are big shoes to fill. Rashad, what about you? Were there any big takeaways for you?
Well, the biggest takeaway is that you never know when it's going to be open. You got to appreciate greatness in the moment. I spoke about this with 19 Keys, but this might be the last opportunity that we ever get to see Warren Buffett speak publicly. We need him at InvestBest if possible,
sure.
Man. You know,
sure.
There's a lot of people that watch this show, so if anybody has any direct relationships, man, let's make magic happen one last time. But
Becky, quick, please.
We had a similar situation with Junior Bridgman, which we didn't know that he was gonna not be here anymore. There's somebody that became a billionaire and spoke at InvestBest. That might have been the last time that he really had an address that big as far as public addressing the public. And then shortly after that, he passes away. So, man, you have to appreciate moments and people and opportunities and things like you saying like, all right, I'm all next time or next year or I'm gonna do this and like I'm watching Market Mondays, but I'm not really watching. I'm not halfway paying attention. You never know when it's gonna be the last time.
That's a great point.
Even being on stage, I say it every year. People get tired of me saying it. Every time on stage, act as if you're last. Because if you miss that, it could be.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact. So get your ticket to InvestBest because you never know. But I want to do this though. I do want to have. I want to have some personal finance talk before we bring our guest on and we talk about the market. So, what are 5 things? If somebody's just starting out right now, right?
Oh, okay.
What are 5 things, like a mandatory 5 things that they have to do as far as their personal finance in regards to the stuff that we talk about?
Number 1, I love the debt snowball. So take off the smallest debt, aim to pay that off first. Number 2, pick 2 to 4 stocks that you're going to invest in for the next 10, 15 years of your life. Don't deviate from it. Number 3, pick an amount that you are going to invest and don't deviate. Because sometimes people hear these numbers and like, well, I don't have 60 grand to put into the market. Start with 200. And then once you see the 200 go to 4, you're going to find 1,000 or 1,500 to then put into that vehicle. Number 3, not to be self-aggrandizing, but to watch this every week. Because if you do that, you're going to get a higher return on investment than if you watch other shows. I mentioned my please put us in chat. Love y'all. Get the book. You deserve to be rich. Number 4, find 1 or 2 people that you're going to have these conversations with. It's like having a sparring partner or someone to work out with. I don't want you to lean on them for accountability, but if, like, we've stuck together for 5 years, and we kept telling y'all, we're going to stick together, right? We've grown collectively and individually as a result. A lot of times I see people trying to do this on their own, and because they don't have someone to lean on, they don't stay in the game as long. And then number 5, kill the lifestyle creep. Like, I see too many of us get to that first 100,000, first 200,000, and you get the blunt.
we've grown collectively and individually as a result. A lot of times I'll see people try and do this on their own, and because they don't have someone to lean on, they don't stay in the game as long. And then number 5, kill the lifestyle creep. Like, I see too many of us get to that first 100,000, first 200,000, and you get to blowing it on Mike and Mary, and you want to talk to me about tariffs. Go, shout to Johnny Dang. I see a lot of y'all come out here and go hit Johnny Dang and, hey, I'll give you a discount because people been coming. I'm like, I know it's fun to look like you have all the money in the world. It's more fun to actually have the money in your possession.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, that was great. That was great. For me, it would be you have to secure your retirement. So you start to invest in your 401k. Have an IRA. If you're self-employed, have a set plan. These are things that we talked about, but you gotta have money for later on down the line.
Sure.
A forced savings that you don't even think about that is tax advantage where you're saving money on taxes. And you'll also be able to have a nest egg at some point in time in retirement because it's going to be here before you know it. So securing your retirement is a major thing. And then if you have kids, you got to plan for them.
Yes.
So we talk about 529 plan, which is how you can save money for college, or you can have an UTMA account, which is how you can just save money for your child. In general, it doesn't necessarily have to be used for college, but you want to secure or start to, have some level of security for them. So that's important. You can put money away. The earlier you start, the better. Compounding interest, one of the things that Warren Buffett championed across the way. Life insurance, you have to make sure that you secure your life insurance. We've had a lot of conversations about that, but if somebody's just starting out, that's a great thing to do for foundational purposes as far as your financial plan. I would say dollar cost average into the stock market every single month. From a brokerage account, you can open a brokerage account, put 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever you can afford. But, Ian says 2 tech, 2 index, you put together your strategy and you might have, okay, S&P 500, I'm gonna put $200 into that every single month. I'm gonna put $200 in the microchip every single month. Put money into the market in a brokerage account. Force savings every single month. That's important. Outside of your retirement, 2 different things. Yep. Your retirement, what we call qualified, was not a retirement, it's non-qualified. So non-qualified is just regular brokerage. You can use that money whenever. You don't have to wait until you're 59 and a half. But you want to do 2 things simultaneously. And then the last thing I would say is estate planning. Put together a will. If you're at the point where trust makes sense, make sure your beneficiaries are listed. That's important. So those are 5 things.
Especially the last one.
Sure. If you on your pathway, if you're just starting out, or even if you haven't just started out, you want to just look to make sure you're doing things correctly. Retirement, college savings, or just savings for your children in general. Life insurance, dollar cost average to the stock market every single month, and then estate plan. Make sure you have a will, a trust, put beneficiaries on things. Look to see if everything is set up. If you die today, will it be a mess? That's how you got to gauge this. If I die today, is it going to be a mess? Meaning, when I say is it going to be a mess, is it going to be, how are they going to know what your passwords are? How are they going to know how to get into your bank account? How are they going to know where you have bank accounts at? How are they going to know? So what you should do is have a handbook where it's actually detailed and you put it with somebody that you trust, your beneficiary, your lawyer. So that way, it's hard enough you die, somebody's gonna have to make funeral arrangements, but just think about that. Like you're doing all this stuff, you're acquiring all this stuff, you got properties over here. If nobody knows about it,
yeah, probate.
No man know your password.
Or worst case scenario, it could get forfeited. Or it's just not even, it's just held. There's billions of dollars that's just held in suspense right now because nobody's ever claimed it because nobody knows about it.
State property.
Think about it. Crypto, same thing. If you got crypto, Coinbase is not gonna call your family like, hey, you got $50,000 in Ethereum waiting for you.
What's your catchphrase?
I gotta think about it.
Oh man, that was a lot. But this is so. The first thing and you kind of just went down all of them, but get your affairs in order. And like what you just named was your affairs.
I know, Ian, we joked about this like 3 years ago, but like that paperwork part, like
the paperwork in order.
It's in order. I'll add, because I was listening to what you guys may have not said, but reserves, right? Like as you're creating this wealth, right? It's cool, but like one of the first things, and I remember sitting down with Shadi 17 years ago, it was like, you need to have 6 to 12 months reserves. I know when we started Market Mondays, you were like 60 months, and I was like, damn, that's 5 years. But you got to have some reserves, right? And what that for yourself on a personal level, that's the first set of reserves. But in the marketing, once you have your brokerage account, so I would say obviously open the brokerage account, but have reserves in your brokerage account as well for opportunities when people are being greedy, right? Right? You wait for that market to pull back, and you see opportune times like you saw in late January, like you saw at the beginning of April, and who knows, it could happen again based on what the economy looks like and what the leader of, the United States government will pull tomorrow. I think having an exit plan is important, right? Like
that's a great point.
When you open that account, what's the strategy for you to exit? Are you holding on to long term? Cool. Are you making short term opportunities for yourself, right? Because yeah, it's cool to get the money and watch it be unrealized, and then it sucks when it starts peeling back, and now that unrealized gain is not what you thought, right? It's not realized until you sell it. And so having an exit plan, is it a percentage, right? Is it a term, right? We always talk about having long-term investments, but some people do futures, some people do options. What is the exit plan for you to get out? I think having a CPA that's qualified is, man, gold. If you get the money, trust me, the government is going to want the money. So having a CPA and a tax strategy, and that's stuff that we're learning as we're going as well. Like we're learning new tax strategies. That's the power of having relationships. So people are like, hey, we're doing this. I'm like, oh, well, tell us how that works. So having a CPA and a tax strategy is important. And I think I'll end it where you ended it, Ian. I think watching us is important, and you deserve to be rich is important. I saw somebody put in the comments at the book tour, like, I figured this out. Like, this isn't a book you read once. This is a book that you come back to as you're going through your journey of life. Right? You might identify with a character in one phase of your life, and then you might identify with another one. The strategies that you maybe have passed, now that your life and your wealth has changed, you can now implement. They make more sense to you. And so reading obviously is one of those paramount things when we're trying to preserve and keep wealth. I think we created the blueprint for it.
Yeah. Podcast copy. Reaction videos are not IP. So you go through the estate planning, they ask you like what stocks, bonds, real estate, intellectual property. Ironically enough, reaction videos to us do not qualify.
It's not on the asset sheet. But I will say this too. You gotta think about if you died today, what would happen? At least every couple of months. That's very important. That's important. Because most of the time, and even for me, I had to realize that, like most of us, if we die today, it's not organized enough. Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. You gotta think if I die today, and you gotta avoid money traps. And I talked about this last week, but I'm gonna double down on this because some helping people is more important than what critics have to say. Buying a home is extremely important, but it's also can be a money trap.
It can be a money pit.
It could be a money pit. That's an unfortunate situation because once you're in it, you can't really turn around. But buy a home, like if you can get approved for $1 million mortgage, buy a condo for $250. Thank me later. Thank me later.
I'll go through it so you wouldn't do it after.
You might not have the same level of to bring this girl over and she thank me later.
If she wants you, she wants you regardless.
Buy.
They don't build it together.
Buy lower.
Yes.
Than what you get approved for. Thank you later. Because it's more beneficial to have money working for you than you actually putting money into something that potentially down the line you can have equity down the line. You need somewhere to live, that's important. Mm-hmm. For sure. Modesty is important in life, but in this home thing, there's probably even more important than anything. The modesty, nobody ever talked about that. You gotta be modest in your living. That's the most important thing. Have a modest, and that's one lesson that we can learn from Warren Buffett. I don't know if this is true or not, but they always say that he lives in the same house that he grew up in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, he kept it.
Modest in your living. Be modest in your living.
Because if you don't have high, I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead. You're right.
It's the biggest thing. It's the biggest expense, and it's an ongoing expense, and it's an expense that only gets more expensive.
Oh, and I know y'all want to throw them big ass parties and then someone slips on your market.
Not fun.
$214,000 lawsuit per person. Oh, and if I ever pass early, God forbid, let this be public record. Don't go to my mom or my cousin talking about you don't want me to have this. I don't want you to have nothing. Sorry. Sorry.
Right? Don't confess your love. No. Don't confess your love. If you couldn't go to my house and give my mama a hug. Yeah, I did that. As soon as we were building, and I was like, all right, this is a moment. I had the red button. I was like, I went to Danielle. I'm like, yo, here's the code. Here's the code. Keep it safe. Put it locked somewhere. Anything happens to me, here's what you do. This is what you do. And this is what you do. I don't want to think about that. Well, I did. I thought about it for you. Here's what you do.
And modesty in the business too. Overexpanding just to overexpand and not hiring the right talent. Well, what's the quote? Hire slow and fire fast.
Yeah.
No one talks about the payroll part. It's like
keep your expenses low at all times. Cars, like if you don't need to necessarily buy a car in cash. You can lease it. That's when Jay said we don't lease, we buy the whole car as you should.
Yeah, good advice.
That's actually bad advice.
Yeah, right.
It depends on the state.
When he said it, I think he would go back and look differently at that line.
It's a hustler's mentality, but it's not necessarily.
It's a braggadocious mentality.
It's not necessarily.
It's a flex.
Man.
And Rolls Royce, if we ever find out what the car really costs, we are gonna report on it for 7 weeks straight.
Keep your expenses down.
Please do.
And the cars and the jewelry and the homes, it looks good, but it's not necessary. Because one car does the same thing that 2 cars will do. One watch tells the same time that 3 watches can tell.
For sure.
A 2-bedroom house serves the same purpose that a 6-bedroom house, because most people's not using 6 bedrooms. What I'm saying is that live below your means. When they say live below your means, nobody's ever really critically thought about that. That means that your means, you're actually living less than your actually means. Right? That means that you actually should be at 100,000, but you're living at 70,000. What does that mean? That means you have to make sacrifices. They didn't say live at your means. They didn't say live at your means. They said live below your means.
And way below if I would be honest, it's one of the hardest sacrifices I've ever made. Man, Big Mike shot the mic out there, that hit me every week.
What's the biggest?
And you've done the best.
Yeah.
You actually, I'm gonna give you credit publicly because you out of everybody that I've seen, you've done the best at living below your means. And I mean, you still live a good life, but I see it. Like I'm an observant person, right? I noticed that you live below your means, and that takes discipline.
Yeah, I didn't think I would have it.
Kudos, because that's something that most people would not talk about. But you are a very responsible person when it comes to how you're living.
Because this is true. What's the biggest societal pressure that you face when you say, like, I need to have discipline to do this? What are those pressure points that it's like, damn, I really want that, or I really could do this, but I'm not going to?
Just getting offered, hey, come to the Rolls Royce dealership and we'll give you 40 off. I like you. Cool. It's tough to take the calls, and then you see your friends start to, it's like, even when Joe would have got the Ferrari, right, Joe FaceTime me, yo, the dog, we're going to get matching. We're not going to get matching Ferraris like money, everything. Like, it's sound fly. It's dope on Instagram. But is it really worth that? So, it's tough, though. Especially now, like, looking for houses. And we talked about it before, the tax on B&O. Now I gotta go have somebody go look for them on my behalf. So this is not, I got no good friends, but I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. I'll see the future pop up in some of the videos. I need 2 of them chains, 2 of them watches. Big Mike almost got me last week. I don't care about what he said that. I was like, nah, because I'm deep. But knowing that I'm good and that, you know, my family's good and that my kid is good. But now Zayda's starting to pressure me.
Yes, you do.
Yep, be like that. It'd be nice.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, it's tough. It's worth it. I'm gonna do the Buffett. I'm gonna play Meek, and then on the private time, boy, 2 Rolls Royces. I said, oh, okay. Buffett got the first color, Nick. Y'all stop saying the Rolls Royce on advertising. You just may not see where they advertise. We gotta stop a lot of these misnomers that are just not true. Go to F1 or Monaco. It's a lot of advertisements up there.
Yeah, they advertise to their clientele. Well, they put that on NBC.
Yeah. Oh, and Rolex, can y'all quit copying the watch designs? Because I would like another. Y'all just flat out copying everybody. Jesus, it's a car man for watching like this year. What y'all doing? That's funny.
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind when you're on your pathway to become rich, wealthy. Live below your means and invest as much as possible. Keep cash on hand all the time.
Please. Just talking about investments, I may get you on the show.
Light show? Best.
Okay.
Never
That boy said a light show. Okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
They're gonna be like, he's changing the
floor. They have no lenses in my glasses.
One of those
big blinders.
Shit, my fault. I just looked at my phone. I'm coming.
Yep. Shout out to Floyd. Shout out to Manhattan. You know, 20% of it.
Sure.
My guy. Floyd's a great guy. Great guy.
Okay, so leading into earnings,
yeah.
What companies are you most bullish about?
Let me come back to this because I may want to do this thing.
At the end of the show?
Yeah, end of the show.
Oh, all right. Because I got two lists.
Okay, go ahead.
I got 2 lists. I didn't know what you was gonna say, so I made 2 lists.
If you want to kick it off now, we can.
I'll kick it off. So yeah, last week we saw some of the Mac 7 deliver. I think all of them pretty much beat on.
Shout out to Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft beat and Apple did, which was like we was surprised about that. And the 2 for sure that I'm looking at, Netflix, I've been talking about it for 5 months.
For sure, so I'll give you that,
But I'm still bullish on Netflix. I think everybody is anticipating, obviously, Palantir. They reported today. So Palantir, that's the best performing stock in the S&P. But we spoke about it last week, and I said when we were talking about the healthcare field and what are those sleeper companies, you look at the number, I think it's number 2 or 3 in the S&P. CVS is right there. Those would be 3. The top 2 I'm excited about. I think Netflix and Palantir, but I think Uber is another company that we got to pay attention to. And will there be a partnership? Will Tesla figure something out on autonomous to have them as an official car? We'll see. And then the one I've been talking about for the past 2 years, and they'll be reporting this week as well, HubSpot. I think we've seen the AI infrastructure play. Now it's time from enterprise play. And I think obviously Salesforce leads in the large enterprise, but I think HubSpot, when the everyday business person can use it, and work clients as well, just for the record, I think HubSpot is another one of those that I'm excited for. So if I had to put it in order, I'd say Netflix, Palantir, Uber, HubSpot, and then CVS Wildfire.
I'm going to go high tech. Disney needs to sell to Netflix, and AMD needs to sell to NVIDIA.
Big week for them.
AMD is, I don't know if they'll be able to turn the ship around.
They crossed 100, so that's a good sign.
Wow.
So much.
And a league where you can shoot threes. The one 3-point shooter that's supposed to be Tony Kukoc from '92 is making 1 3 a game. I love AMD. The Radeon, well, not everything. What was it? Ryzen chip? Oh, amazing. But they just mismatched just into the ground. It's like the people in Seattle who had a financial literacy platform too. Shout out to
Starbucks was that?
AMD, yes. American Rose and Dunkin'. And Starbucks too. Where you going?
New CEO. It ain't really worked out like they thought.
I mean, the semi-glutide and Ozempic model, like people want to be in sugar. Like when you're selling sugar at scale,
yeah.
And then you have a workforce issue, and you allow employees to express so much that they feel like they almost ran the company. I go back to the issue when the gentleman got locked up in the Starbucks. Like you're fighting for what your culture looks like. A lot of profit margin is down, and Dutch Bros is on fire. That's not the kind of deal. They need diversity in that lunch offer, that product offer, and I don't know what they can do to do that. And if we're going to be very honest, the coffee is not great. It's okay. Like in this pivotal time with all this economic crunching, we're like either you're great or nothing. Please put that in the chat. Invest us. Great. Right? Market money, great. Red pen, great. Like there is no in between. There's no room for mediocre businesses going into this next decade when you have OpenAI and Anduril and Lilly and subpar products. So,
is it too early though? I mean, this is the second quarter as CEO. We've got to give them a little bit of time to figure it out.
Listen, if they move the definition of recession on Biden, we could give him grace in 2 quarters.
2 quarters. I mean, he has a proven track record, right? That we can't ignore, and so it's still early in the game. So we got to monitor this thing with Starbucks.
Trust the Starbucks.
Yeah, I was going to put, and I think we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but Hims is an interesting company as well.
For sure. People have been asking about this.
We've been asking about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But that would be another one of those companies, especially with some of the announcements that they had recently, that I definitely would be keep an eye on, especially throughout this year.
Pfizer, y'all need to sell the Hims. I don't know what's going on with Pfizer, but it's done. It's over with. We ain't get dead or alive or what, but as far as getting that paperwork in order,
get your affairs in order.
It's time. It's time.
The red button.
So, stock market had 9 days of a rally before today. So, is this a sign going into spring and summer that we're gonna, have upticks, or is this a pump fake before a sharper decline happens?
I think that the opportunity was so great that you could not pass it up. Now, and that keeping the expenses low conversation. If you get a deal that's so remarkable that you can't pass up, have a ball, buy all the mirror you want to. You get 60% off, right? The market was on such a sale that if you bought at the right time at the top of April, you will almost guarantee a return. So I think people who missed out on those gains, and so like VO or like that 475 spot, you will almost guarantee a high return. So I think the market is going to continue to fight back and continue to climb. And if we're going to be very honest, after the election was decided, the market had ran up too fast and it just went back to the levels where it should be, and then people found a great spot to be able to buy in, and they took absolute advantage of it. So I don't think it's a pump fake. I think we'll start to stabilize over the next couple of months, and I think the end of July and August will be rough. But I think by the end of the year, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think the S&P got back to like right where it was on November 4th. Yeah, the day before the election. And so yeah, I mean, obviously uncertainty could still certainly be a factor. Some of those tariffs are going to be kicking in the next few weeks here. We still haven't heard what the pharma tariff is going to be. The semiconductor, we haven't heard what the numbers are going to be. Maybe they won't be. There was some promising news that China may be willing to talk negotiations. That would be promising, but yeah, if some of that can get cleared up in the next few weeks or so here, yeah, I think we'll have a positive year.
Or I'm sorry to China.
My bad.
Let's be friends. The market goes soar.
I mean,
Rashad, I see you ponder. What are your thoughts?
Can't tell. It all depends on what Trump wants to do. And he's a very unpredictable person. So, I mean, you're talking about somebody that tweeted pictures of him as the Pope, as the new Pope.
Maybe that's his grand desire. Cosplay. How old are you?
Potentially. Yeah. Potentially. So, it's a lot of variables that go into play here.
For sure.
And we don't know how it's going to play out. But something like Apple, they're going to $900 million impact from tariffs, and they're getting like America as far as the tariffs, but China's actually putting down the hammer as well, trying to reverse engineering the situation. Like, okay, like if we do business with a company like Apple, who's in the middle of China and America, trying to navigate, and they're having pressure put on them on the Chinese side. Nobody's talking about that. And they're having pressure put on them on the American side. And they're trying to figure out ways how to go around that, which is India. But they're losing money. That's almost $1 billion.
That's a lot.
And it showed on their stock price. So we don't know. Every day there's a new tariff. You know, we talk about Hollywood films. So, you know, it's a very unpredictable regime,
for sure,
to say the least. And I think everybody's hoping for the best. Everybody's hoping that, okay, yeah, you know, it's going to smooth out. You know, everybody realized that it wasn't a great idea, and they're going to work it out, and they're going to come to the table. And you can't necessarily think that somebody's going to be a rational thinking person when they've proven that they have not been rational thinking for.
I feel like that's what they're doing, right? It feels like they are trying to make sense out of nonsense. Like I'm still.
That's what human do.
It's like, yo, gas is $1.98. Where is that happening now?
Well, human nature is to make sense out of nonsense. So if you've ever been in a toxic relationship and you
normalize it,
and you dealt with somebody that's toxic, you make excuses for their behavior because you think like they think like you. It's hard for you to think like somebody that is an irrational person. So you're thinking that the person is thinking just like you. You know, they had a bad day, or you know, something just happened at work, or you know, it was my fault. And this happens all the time. This is how abusive relationships get normalized. That's because you are not thinking of the other person's brain. You're thinking with your brain, and you're making sense out of their nonsense until you realize that you can't make sense out of nonsense. It takes a long time to realize that you can't make sense out of nonsense. It may sound easy.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you've ever been in this type of situation, you realize it takes years sometimes to realize, no, this is not normal way of thinking. This person is irrational. This person is completely different from most people, how they actually think. And I think that what's happening in America right now is that a lot of people are fearful. You watch 60 Minutes as far as the legal community, the educational community. Everybody's
terrified.
They're very fearful of the administration. So nobody's really saying anything publicly. And everybody's just trying to rationalize how this is going to make sense, how it's going to go back to normal. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But it could not potentially go like that.
That's part of it. We were having this conversation the other night. It was, if it takes, let's say, 3 months to erase all progress, right? And it's abusive. How long will it take for people to realize that this is abusive and can we correct it? Right? Because like every industry that you just named, at some point has felt like this is a shakedown. And if we don't come to terms,
honestly, all of them sell the most.
That's pretty interesting.
But the ones I'm making today, they sell pretty good.
If you don't meet,
being honest,
your livelihood's at jeopardy, right? So you're gonna. This is another thing we talk about negotiating when you're fearful, or You're not.
You have no leverage.
You have no leverage. Like you're going to accept terms that aren't favorable for you. What are the repercussions long term? How long will it take for people to come out of that? That's what we're at stake at right now. Like, could it be 5 years? Yeah, he say he didn't want to run for a third term, but the things that he put in place, the executive orders that he put in place, the sustainability to that might be 10, 15, 20 years down the line.
Well, most people are more concerned about 100 gorillas versus 1 man. Or 100 men versus 1 gorilla. That's more important to the average person because they remix that story at least 37 times. So what ends up happening is that, once again, going back to the abusive relationship thing, you know, and even if you watch the documentary, I was talking to somebody, there's mind manipulation when it comes to like a pimp and a prostitute, right? And most people look at a prostitute and be like, damn, like how would you ever get yourself in that situation? It happens over the course of time. And it usually happens in a way that you're not even fully realizing it. And then by the time you realize that you're in a situation, you're embarrassed. Because you're like, damn, like, how did I let myself get into this situation? But you're too far gone. Down the road, turn back. This is what America is in right now. Everybody that's championed all of this, it's like, damn, like, it's kind of embarrassing that we even put ourselves in this situation. But now we are under we're under a real monster gorilla, like when you come to that type of, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the real, like, going on. And there's nothing you can do about it. And there's repercussions if you try to turn backwards. So now you just try to move forward and you're scared and you're trying to just walk on eggshells pretty much. And you're just trying to just make it through. But it's a scary situation because at any given moment, you can really get punched.
Do you feel like majority of the people who supported it then feel embarrassed now? I don't feel like there's an overwhelming sense of embarrassment.
I think so, because when you got people like, so when you have people like Jimmy, it's like, man, this is not what we signed up for. I didn't think about this. Just for him to say that, imagine what he's saying about him.
Private.
When you got people like Jamie Dimon, who's saying like, no, this isn't the best way to go about it. Like, this is going to lead to a recession. This isn't will be champion. Like, when you have people like Ken, what's his name?
Griffin.
Ken Griffin for sure. He walked back, but the other guy, hedge fund.
I see what you're doing. Yeah.
For them to make these kind of public statements, which some might see as soft, but that's actually pretty bold of them to actually say
in public,
right? But these are people that champion the regime. Now you start to think, damn, what are the conversations that they're actually having behind closed doors? Like, because they're losing billions of dollars. They're not functioning properly as far as how things are moving, right? It's causing a lot of uncertainty. So if they're at the point now where they're starting to speak out publicly, then you can imagine the sediment that is had when there's no cameras on.
So here's the interesting thing. Everybody you just named comes from a very niche environment, right? Those are all people in the world of finance, pretty much, which is, they're all 1% of the people that you just named. But those aren't the people who won the election. Those are people who might have donated to the campaign, but the people who helped to win are middle to lower class, uneducated population, right?
Now, if we're gonna be fair, they're having the same regret that most of us.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Year two, right?
You think
the sentiment is changing slowly?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, will they? That's different from them not having the same core belief. The leader just has not done well. For everybody in the comments was like, "What was this when Biden covered when Biden was in?" I was the only black person that said he should be out of office when they could have jeopardized my life and career. Go, like, stop watching clips. We was on that bandwagon. I told you, applause is the main advocate. Yeah,
right.
So we're saying here, if he's not leading well, leading the country well, and damn near cause a global recession from a bad plan, and this is 20 years after the Bush fiasco.
On October 7th, Hamas terrorists kidnapped Cherie Bibas and her 2 sons, 9-month-old Kafir and 4-year-old Ariel. 1 month later, Hamas murdered them. Not with weapons, but with their bare hands, then mutilated their bodies to cover it up. This is who Hamas is. The world must stop pretending they are anything but a terrorist organization bent on destroying Israel and its people. As long as Hamas remains in power, there can be no peace in Gaza.
Nationwide is more than you think.
Definitely. Their resources help me create customized retirement income plans that help clients feel more confident.
Helping them get in their comfort zone, their retirement comfort zone.
Good zone.
My other favorite zone, Cal Zone.
Would you just look at those roots? They're Bonnie plants, of course.
Remember how many tomatoes we had last year from these?
Dozens and dozens. Always look for Bonnie at your local gardening store.
Bonnie's your favorite for a reason.
Another war we didn't need. That's above our pay grade, so I'll leave that one. This one I can speak on. So, are they having some change of heart? Yes, because I'm getting a lot more messages from these guys than ever. Will they publicly say it? No. Will the ideology change? No. But if I was a mastermind, wouldn't it be brave or wise of me to install some people who would cause this kind of mishap at scale to then allow me to run in 2028 or 2032?
32. No, he out of here by then.
I'm talking about the real mastermind.
Okay.
Yeah, not you.
Okay. Oh, not that.
Real mastermind.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, if I make Rashad uncomfortable, yeah, it's time to go to the next subject.
Next topic, please.
Next topic, please. Personal finance for kids.
Oh, yes, for sure. So, okay. So, let's talk about Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin has rallied. Pull back a little bit today, but almost at 100,000. You know, 2 days ago it was at 95,000. So Bitcoin is on the move, and finally, it hasn't been talked about a lot, but it has rallied. It definitely has rallied from where it was even a month ago. It was at 64,000 a month ago, and now it's at 94,000. So it's up 30. A month ago, it was, what was it that month? It was at, it lowered, I think it lowered at 74,000 a month ago. And now it's at, so $20,000 in 1 month. At the beginning of the year, before the year started, I said that my picks for the year were MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. That was my personal 2. MicroStrategy is also doing pretty good. We haven't talked about MicroSailor in a while, but quietly, MicroStrat it went from last month, it was at 237, and now it's at 380. Quietly creeping up the ranks again. So is this Bitcoin rally something that is going to explode, or will we see a pullback again?
No, I mean, every asset pulls back, but is it going to keep going up for a long period of time? That's 10, 15 years for sure. My question, not to deviate too much, is what the hell happened to Ethereum? Vitalik has not been visible. Ethereum has not moved. All you Ethereum maxis, please tell me what's going on. But no, Bitcoin is going to do incredibly well. I mean, we talked ad nauseum about how the banks have had involvement and it's provided stability for them. As a result, the pricing has done well. But going back to April, around this time last month, it was at a great price. Bitcoin at 74, I'll take all day. All day. Like anything in the 70s, 72 range, 74, all day. If I get to swing at that pitch, going back to Warren, like waiting for a big fat pitch to invest in, that's a great one. Then if it tops out at 100 and comes back down, it's just really about where to get in on a great asset. And all great assets are going to continue to rise.
Yeah, and it's a big weekend. I want to give a huge shout out to my man Austin, one of our elite minds at UILU. We did a class in January, and he was talking about the executive orders that have been put in place.
Yeah.
And one of the deadlines is actually today, where you have to create a budget neutral strategy to apply Bitcoin and potentially any other crypto asset for a natural reserve. So on the 8th, this Thursday, this is an important day, the Senate is scheduled to vote on the stablecoin bill, bringing us one step closer to the first ever piece of crypto legislation becoming law. First time ever. That's happening this week. And so you can kind of see this rally towards Bitcoin as we start getting closer to these executive order deadlines. We're starting to see moves. And it used to be, I know we were like, hey, Tesla and Bitcoin kind of run in parallels, but that's over with. Now this is United States government, deadlines, legislation, and watch what the crypto space does.
I mean, if you watched the NBA playoffs yesterday, you saw an interesting commercial for Coinbase when they talked about Bitcoin, and it said, did you see it?
Yep.
So anybody that didn't see it, it was talking about how if you have all the Bitcoin that's ever going to be created, you can fit it. If it was a coin, if it was a quarter, you could fit it inside a container, like a shipping container.
Yeah.
And then they did that. They showed the visual comparison of all of the money that's in circulation currently and all the money that's been printed, and it was like 100 million containers. So what they were showing that
the
scarcity model when it comes to Bitcoin versus the devaluation of the American dollar, because the American dollar, I thought it was an interesting commercial to put on the NBA playoffs because, a little complex, but
well timed, I think, and to make it mainstream.
Yeah, it says a lot about the times that we're in, but it also says that people are gonna have to deal with Bitcoin in some capacity. Some people still don't believe in it. Our guest a few weeks ago he didn't believe in it. So only time will tell. That's the thing. Only time will tell. But it's been very resilient so far. And
it will continue to be so. Yeah.
The other cryptocurrencies have not been resilient.
Nope.
And I mean, not just Ethereum, but I mean XRP. Have we heard anything from XRP recently? Like, this is a company that they said, okay, when they beat the case, okay, well, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
All you XRP enthusiasts out there. Okay, I'll defer. We have a guest. We have
but for sure, Bitcoin is a superior crypto asset. There's no question.
Speaking of crypto, one of the premier providers for people to actually have easy entry to cryptocurrency is a company called Robinhood.
Yes.
Good friends with the people at Robinhood.
Yes.
We have interviewed the CEO a few times, went to their conference, and Steve Quirk is a person that we actually met in Miami at their conference. And it's interesting because we talk about the times that we're in right now, and a lot of it has to do with are people confident, right? So he's the chief brokerage officer of Robinhood. So it's an interesting conversation to talk about the brokerage aspect right now and retail investors and consumer confidence and all that stuff. So we're honored to have this segment in the show. So if we could bring Steve up. How's it going?
Steve, how you doing, man?
Thanks. Nice to see you again. Thanks
Good
for
to see
having
you.
me.
No problem.
Our pleasure, my guy.
So yes, as I said, chief brokerage officer at Robinhood. So you're in charge of the brokerage operation.
Yep, the brokerage operation. So that'd be everything, the equity trading, the option trading, all the margin, or we have yield products as well. Listen, you brought it up. We have almost 26 million customers, and their average age is early 30s, but half of them, they're brand new to the market. So this is their first time investing, and a lot of them haven't seen these kind of movements before.
So that's my question. So, okay, it's been a very unusual, to say the least, couple of months in the market. So you guys, like you said, you have a lot of new investors, or maybe investors that are not as seasoned, like they haven't gone through a bear market before, right? So how are customers navigating the recent volatility?
So we saw the VIX shoot up to 60, and look.
You're good, Steve. You go.
Okay, I didn't know I did change, so I thought you guys had dropped. Even look, I was watching some coverage of Warren Buffett over the weekend. You know, look, he's been around investing for 71 years, I think it is, and even he's saying, look, there could be challenges here because this uncertainty is really. If you're brand new to investing, it's a little bit unsettling. You know, look, other than your health, your wealth is the most important thing. And they just haven't been on the roller coaster before, at least this roller coaster. So I actually get it from my own daughters who, are in their 20s and, they generally speaking, they take an allocated amount of money and they, put it into the market every single month. But my one daughter just doesn't feel comfortable. She said, I don't have a good feeling and I don't have a good understanding. So, we have a yield product. You earn 4%. Listen, 4% is great. It's better than going negative. It's better than, sitting in a bank and earning 0.1%. So I mean, what we always try to tell customers and, we help them is, if you're uncomfortable with an investment, you probably shouldn't be in it. Yeah. You need to be comfortable because it is your money. And I think what people generally learn is if over time they become more comfortable in, like, it's like a scary movie. The first scary movie you've ever seen, it probably scares you quite a bit. But when you start seeing a bunch of them, you kind of say this too shall pass. There's highs and lows in the market. And you kind of say, hey, I've been in this market long enough. I looked at the highs and lows, and I can actually draw a straight line and say, I know if I persevere the way I should, these things shall pass. So the way they've been navigating it, to answer the question directly, is our customers have really been conditioned to buy the dips. It's been successful for them, going all the way back to COVID, and I would argue the institutional investors were kind of getting rid of a lot of securities they didn't have confidence in. And retail kind of stepped in and kind of saved that market, which was.
You're seeing you've seen an inflow of money come into brokerage accounts during this downturn.
We've saw a record 18 billion in deposits in the quarter. Damn. And I think what it is you hear people, customers talk about liking stock ABC at this level, and now it's at this level, and they say, hey, I'm going to be doing this for 35 years. So I just think my job is not to market time. My job is to continue to invest through thick and thin.
That's interesting, man. That speaks to the education around brokerages and around the stock market in general when you start hearing people talk like that. So, especially from retail investors, that's very encouraging.
Well, I give you guys credit too. I mean, I feel like this is the industry's job is to make people successful.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one of the things that you guys released in the quarter, and we had the privilege of seeing a little bit before it was released to the public, was Robinhood Gold. Yeah. And that's been a huge success. I know there was a 90% increase in subscribers. Talk about how the first almost year or so now, or maybe half a year, since the product and release, how it's been going, what you've been seeing from the audience.
Well, so we have a bunch of things that are components of it. The credit card, of course, which has been really cool. It earns you 3%. But then there are other elements where we continue to add value to that subscription, which is $5 a month. And one of them being yield, you can earn 4%. But we're up to almost 3.2 million customers that are part of that gold program now. And I think it's a good way for them to find value in whatever area they're interested in, whether it's on the crypto side or on the traditional brokerage side, or even in what I'll call kind of lightweight banking. What we're really trying to do is make sure that what people really like is to be able to basically handle all their financial needs in one place. They don't want to go to 5 different apps, for different investing and banking and, other things that they do, their credit card or savings or check deposit. So we're just trying to create an ecosystem where they can do that all in one place. It's really easy to see where everything is. It's really easy to manage it. And it's really easy to take actions, if you want to do so.
For all the parents tonight who may have kids that may have a similar fear, how do you stress to them when you're talking to your daughter, like if you invest in this moment in 20 years, which I know she's not thinking that far, you're going to have an amazing return. How do you talk her to get over the fear, given the hindsight of our age and insight that we've had in the market?
I think I think the charts do it. Like if you look at a chart that shows compounding, the power of compounding, and then you just talk to them and say, hey, here's a chart that goes back to 1950, and the average return of the S&P is roughly 9%.
Yeah.
So you're going to have periods where it's probably not going to be comfortable, and I always tell them, I can't use the word guarantee, I'm not allowed in brokerage, but
the high probability,
there's a very good likelihood that in 30 years you will be very happy that you did it. You know, I'm sure you guys have heard it too. The number of people that I've encountered that have started investing in late 40s or 50s, all they ever say to me is, "Man, I wish I would have started this earlier."
Yep.
I wish I would have started earlier. I would have been in such great shape.
So you had $18 billion come in deposits.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, obviously very encouraging as far as people buying a dip. But for options, how has that been for options? And are people doing long-term, short-term options? How does the options inflow look during this couple of months that we've had?
It's been really busy. The answer to the question is we have people who do both. So like people can be very strategic and surgical with their option trading. So like, I like to consider option trading, particularly for people who have a portfolio, it's like, getting insurance. And if I knew a storm was coming on a particular day, I'm not going to buy insurance for a month. I'm going to buy insurance for a day. And so, like, I've been holding on to it forever. I've got 40% appreciation on this thing, but earnings are coming out. I have no idea what's going on with this tariff stuff. Who does, right? So, they say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy a put for today. And
Late breakups, Chris.
And I hope nothing happens with it because it's going to cost me a little money, but it's going to protect that, my whatever percent gain I have. So people can be surgical with it, but there's also people who do it on a continual basis. Okay, I bought a stock, we'll pick on, one, and I like the returns I'm getting, but I want to generate some revenue. So I'm going to write a covered call on it every quarter and get a little additional revenue. And if the stock goes up so fast, it goes up, 20% in a quarter, then you can take that stock away. I'm okay with that. If I'm going to earn 20% on a stock in a quarter, I'm down. That's like 8% a year, and then I'll go back and buy it again, right?
Yeah, that is the formula. So I'm always interested, especially since you guys have 24-hour training, 5 days a week. In seasons like what we saw last week when the MagSev is reporting, and this week, I think over 5,000 companies are reporting. No, not 500 companies reporting like on Wednesday this week. How does volume look after close, right? Because we all traditionally know 9:30 to 4 p.m. But then you have people who report and then earnings, you'll see they beat their earnings and the stock go up. How is volume post 4 p.m.?
So the volumes of, here's when we see the biggest increase in volumes. You're hitting the nail on the head. Even when earnings come out, which is right after the bell, and that's intentional because, they don't want to move in the main session typically. It takes a while. So the earnings come out, here's your number. Well, great. The stock